Anyways, hey, so welcome everybody to Chocobo Central, episode 4. I am here. I am Dan, and next to me is Kyle again.
Hello.
How are you, Kyle?
I'm great. We're here to talk about a great thing that's so close to my heart. I'm so happy about it.
Absolutely. We're talking about Gears of War, right?
Yeah, no, wow, what a bait and switch. You really got me tricked here.
I'm
Wow.
continuing the joke from last time because you and I were on episode 3, so Gears. Okay, never mind.
Sure, yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, I feel bamboozled, but I thought we were talking about something cool, but I guess we're talking about something. I guess we're still talking about something buff,
Yeah, he's super jacked.
We got a lot of jacked dudes in this anime. So.
A lot of testosterone. Yeah, absolutely. So you know what, Kyle? Last episode we went to we went to the U.S. and we discussed some U.S. things, which was Bethesda and Skyrim, and that was really fun. But
yeah.
we're gonna head back the other direction, and we're gonna go back to Japan.
And the rising sun.
We're not gonna talk about video games, even though this is supposed to be a show about Final Fantasy and Chocobos and all that. So
yeah, whatever. It's a format's a format,
I do whatever I want, Kyle. I do whatever the fuck I want. I don't care.
People are like, where are all the Chocobos at on Chocobo Central?
Right here. Look, right there. It's right there.
Yeah, there it is. Every episode, you got it right there.
Tiny ones too. No, but what we're gonna discuss, and we meant to discuss a while back, but Kyle's a busy man, and I respect that, so that's fine. So hopefully I haven't forgotten too much because I have a terrible memory. But
I do too, but we'll keep each other on track, I think. So.
Yes. But I recently rewatched my favorite anime of all time. It is Dragon Ball Z.
How bold of you to say that, because I say it's mine as well, and I'm like, I feel like a fraud saying that, but it really is. Like, I don't know if any other anime gets me, like, I don't know, jacked when I watched it, and we'll get to the Super stuff, but, like, there are moments in Super where I was like, can you believe what just happened? Like, up in my seat, like, oh!
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. Dude, the emotions were high in that last
Very
arc.
high, yeah. There was a lot of emotional hijacking in this show, to be honest, for Super, because it's just fan service. You're like, we're gonna make Master Roshi relevant again. It's like, okay.
Right? Yeah, that was
sure.
That was shocking.
Why was he benched this whole time if he could fight this good?
It's because he was. I mean, looking at
what an old bastard he is.
He was just looking at boobs, Kyle. Just looking at boobs.
Yeah, but when he cured himself of that, look what, which is my favorite story. We'll get to it. I'm sorry. I know I'm putting the cart before the horse here, but
yes.
It's one of my favorite stories in the entire anime because it's so woke. It's so
putting
woke.
The cart before the boobs is what you're doing.
Putting the boobs before the cart? I don't know. Whatever.
It should always be the boobs before the cart. But yeah, so I revisited Dragon Ball Z for the first time since high school, Kyle. For some of you that are around our age, I don't know if you also were you got into Dragon Ball Z back during Toonami.
Yes. I got into Dragon Ball Z from a friend who was into it before it got on Toonami, but I got like fully into it once it hit Toonami. I'm like, oh, this is that thing my friend always watches, where I remember catching like Cell Saga episodes and Frieza Saga episodes and like kind of all over the place in Japanese, like years before it was airing on Toonami. I was a kid, like a child, and I have such small memories of like specifically Zarbon being like really gay and
very flamboyant.
Yes, very flamboyant. Yeah, excuse me.
Flamboyant.
Thank you for the assist on that. And just shadow memories of the stuff, and then like watching it for the first time on Toonami and being like, oh my god, and like not even it clicking immediately and be like, this is that show that my friend used to show me episodes of way back when. So used to catch episodes on the international channel like way before it came out. I was watching.
You were kind of more like enveloped in it, like you were more aware of it. I actually recently remembered. So technically, Toonami wasn't my first experience with the series. It actually was. So Dragon Ball, which was before Dragon Ball Z. When I went with I think it was either the first or the second time I went back to Portugal. My family and I went to go visit our family back in Portugal, and I vaguely remember as a kid seeing Dragon Ball in Portuguese. Like it would just be airing in the morning, and I just remember the TV was on. I think they were just like, let's put the TV on and some cartoons for the kids. And I remember vaguely like bits and pieces of Dragon Ball. And the intro song was like in Portuguese. Like it was.
Dude, was it the same song or was it a different song? Because I know Z had different songs for like every region.
I don't remember Dragon Balls, but they would show Z as well. And I remember the Dragon Ball Z one was like Dragon Ball Z.
Dragonball Z, 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 energia total. Dragonball Z, 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 em lutas contra o mal.
Oh, it wasn't Rock the Dragon in Portuguese.
No,
like
it wasn't. That would have been amazing.
That's cool. Yeah, Z had a different song for every region, dude.
Yeah.
When you get off tonight, check out the Mexico version, the Spanish version of it. Check out the Canadian version of it. Okay. Yeah, like go down the rabbit hole. It's very, very fun.
I want a montage. Yeah. If there's like a montage video, I would appreciate it.
There's got to be, man. Yeah, there's people way smarter than me out there doing this stuff. So.
But that was actually my first experience technically, but like actually watching it and understanding and appreciating and falling in love with it was in high school with Toonami.
Yeah, mine was like middle school with Toonami. I'm right there with you, man. Like, the love didn't start until I was actually watching it. I'm sorry for all you subbers out there, but I was watching it in English, on Toonami.
Dragon Ball Z, I think, is one of those that you can just absolutely make the argument that it has to be watched in English. Like,
and it gets better. And if you watch Kai, it's consistent the entire way through, so. It's cool that you watched Ball first. I didn't watch Ball until like well until I was in Dragon Ball Z. I knew it existed. I just never got around to it. And this is back in the day where you had to like score DVDs and VHSs of stuff. So I had to go out and buy the VHSs of the whole Dragon Ball series, which was like a small fortune for like a 15-year-old kid. So
I remember there was a chain of stores. I don't know if they had them around where you live. Suncoast Videos.
I did have Suncoast Videos, yeah.
So I remember, I would remember going in there.
They sold a lot of anime, yeah.
Yeah, and very expensive.
Extremely, yeah. I had to go, and even our local anime shops, like well overpriced and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I would wait until the anime conventions came through, which can't sell overpriced things sometimes, but it was a good place to like score really old VHSs, like on the cheap, either used or whatever. So that's how I scored a lot of the series, and it was one of those things where like I didn't know who TN was or Chaozu or anything. Like I started with Z and I was just like, it felt like a beginning to me.
Sure.
Because like you get enough story. There's 240 episodes of this. Like they have enough time to explain who these people are. I got really quickly that Yamcha was an old school friend, that TN and Chaozu were like from another planet or something. I don't know. I forget what their story was, but like he's the bodyguard of Chaozu, and I don't know. I forget all that stuff.
Well, that's the thing.
It's been a long time since Dragon Ball for me, so
I've never actually watched Dragon Ball in its entirety. So
you have to, man. Yeah, that's back when like the show was about martial arts and not superpowers,
Well, that's why I like like when Z starts, and we'll get into it in a moment. But when Z starts, it still feels like a bit Dragon Ball. I think
it does. At the very, I mean, like it's questionable if people can fly.
Yeah,
Goku's always on the Nimbus and stuff like that. Like a couple characters fly, like obviously, but like you weren't destroying planets with beams during like the first 100 episodes of Dragon Ball.
Until Vegeta
Saga,
Nappa show.
Oh no! At the end of the Saiyan Saga, that's an Earth Killer beam that beam battle, which is epic. The Saiyan Saga is one of the greatest sagas in the history of anime. Like it's so perfect and everything.
Well, that's why it's such like a flip, because like they show a scene where Nappa and Vegeta are like on another planet, I think, or no, actually on Earth. I think they even just blow up a city literally in an instant, and it's like
he
whoa.
Lands
so
and does the like I don't know. This is more of a viewer thing than a than a podcast thing, but like Nappa does the blah and like blows up the entire like city that they land in. Yeah,
it starts happening pretty quickly, but I mean obviously before that we have Raditz show up, but
that's like you've never seen anything like that, like even with the fight with Raditz and all the training and stuff. Like Piccolo blows up the moon, which is super random, but like that's the most we ever see like someone do something really destructive. And then this bald dude shows up with this little guy and like blows up a whole city with like a finger movement, and it's just like, oh, the stakes are high. Like the stakes are really real,
So obviously we're gonna start with Z first.
Sure.
So I watched Dragon Ball Z in its entirety, front to back, and then
not Kai, but proper, right?
Yes, because I was watching it on Funimation, so I was streaming it on Funimation. So it's basically just like the regular untouched, uncut version. Like the actual intro is the Japanese one, Like it's not the American one.
Not even Rock the Dragon. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, which was kind of a bummer. Like so the music actually was from the Japanese version, which like was throwing me off. I was like, I swear this was like more rock-ish back in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
So I did some research.
They played
Disturbed
in the Dragon Ball Z movie with Lord Slug. You know, I don't know how many of the movies you've seen, but
well, so actually, thank you for bringing that up. So I was gonna throw out some stats for Dragon Ball Z.
Please, yeah.
So Dragon Ball Z consists of how many episodes, Kyle?
240 or 50 something.
So unless the Wikipedia is wrong, but 291 episodes.
Oh wow! I don't know why I always think it's mid 200s. Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, this is all based off. This is all on the Wikipedia. So some maniac.
There's no reason. No, there's no reason it's fake. Wikipedia polices that stuff pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah. 13 movies.
Yep.
2 television specials. One.
Okay. Yeah.
I like this one. One quote lost movie comprised of footage from an obscure FMV game. No idea what that is.
Okay. Yeah.
What
about the lost episodes? Is that a stat here?
Yeah,
There's like 2 lost episodes where like Frieza comes back and like all the bad guys come back or something. It's really, really, really bizarre. And now that I'm thinking of it, I can't remember if that's a fan-made thing or not.
Yeah,
it legit.
Because I just watched it front to back. That didn't happen. So
these are like fringe episodes that I've never even seen in America. But this is like also the era of LimeWire and Kazan and stuff like that.
Yes.
So like now that I'm like saying this out loud, I'm like, were those duped episodes? You know?
I mean, you know what, Kyle? That might have been either the 2 television specials or that lost movie thing. It could have been from that game. I imagine
the 2 television specials are History of Trunks and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how they classify it, but we're talking a lot of content, guys. Like,
it's a ton of content. Oh, and a 20th anniversary movie. So that's for Dragon Ball Z stats. And then we'll get to the Super when we start the Super talk. But so Dragon Ball Z, to me, the way that I sort of divide it up. So there are sagas, and then sort of within that, when you break it up, the minutia of it all, there are sort of like arcs that you can kind of divide the sagas up into. So with Z, I basically break it down to the Saiyan saga, the Frieza saga, Cell saga, and Buu saga. Oh, I can't hear it.
Yep. Yeah,
oh, there we go.
Damn it. Oh, Skype is killing me tonight. Can you hear me?
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it keeps on freezing every time I press anything.
Oh, okay.
Where's the Garlic Jr. saga, man? What's going on?
I mean, does anyone care? Does anyone actually care?
It's not in the manga, not in the Kai series. Like, talk about like all-time filler episodes. That's what is that, like 8 episodes of just like Garlic's back and he's some fringe guy from a movie that you've never seen.
Sure. I think it's right after the Frieza saga, if I'm not mistaken.
It is like the I don't know, kind of the I don't know, the bridge between the Frieza and...
To me, that's just filler, Kyle, and I don't care.
It's filler. Yeah, dude, hey, we can talk all day about filler. Remember when Tao Pai Pai comes back in the Cell saga?
Nope. Oh, wait, yeah. The dude with sort of the ponytail, right? Yeah.
He's just here. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, all right. But yeah, I don't know if you heard me. I said the Saiyan saga, Frieza saga, Cell saga, Boot saga. How's that sound?
No, I mean, you're missing the Garlic Jr. saga, but that's okay. That's fine.
Sure. Okay. My mistake. My bad.
The whole saga filler. Anyways.
Yes.
Sorry.
So the whole series begins with the Saiyan saga. So like you were saying with Dragon Ball, it was a little more sort of, I don't know if grounded's the right word, but it was a little more sort of simple, right? Like kind of martial arts, not too much crazy stuff going on. Like
it was all about like,
blowing up planets, and
it was all about the tournaments and like, okay, when we go to we're going to another tournament, that's really cool or whatever, which is really cool because Dragon Ball Z starts echoing this much later in its life cycle.
Yes,
and really sticks with it, which I just think is important because like tournaments are like the foundation of what Dragon Ball is all about. And when a tournament pops up, the exciting thing is who are we going to see? Like, what's the new characters, whatever? You know, Piccolo
mysterious characters.
Piccolo was introduced during a tournament. Tien was introduced during a tournament with Chao Tzu, you know. Like, even we get to see Master Roshi fight under Jackie Chun, you know, in the tournament. So it's just one of those things where, like, the tournaments were very important. But, like, you weren't seeing people shooting beams or flying around during these tournaments, you know. Like, these were humans fighting humans. So, like, it was It was interesting. Grounded, I don't know if that's the right word. You know, it's a Chinese
I meant more
fable.
like simplistic.
It's a Chinese fable. No, and I know you weren't leaning into the word grounded, but like it's simplistic is a good word. I don't want to even say lower stakes. Like the stakes were high. Like the world was still ending sometimes, so like that. But like, again, you were solving it with more like martial arts and brains rather than like how many more episodes can I charge my beam up for before it blows up half the universe? You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah, because I mean, so we start off with in the Saiyan saga, Raditz comes to Earth looking for Goku. Very important connection between Raditz and Goku. It's his brother.
Yeah.
His brother is alive. There are other Saiyans that are alive. So that's kind of...
This is the first time we're hearing this word, I think, too, like in all of Dragon Ball. Like, we're like, what? Like, what's this say? Like, we don't know what that means or whatever. Like, we knew Goku came from off-world or whatever, but I don't know if that word had ever been used yet, you know?
Okay. Yeah, because again, I don't have a lot of knowledge on Dragon Ball, so I don't know. But I don't see why they would know that, you know, because...
Why would they? Goku would be the only one. It's not like an Earth thing would be like, you're saying, you know? Yeah.
And he's not really aware of his mission, because Goku...
No, he hit his head. Yeah, he fell out of his pod and hit his head, and it totally conked him out. He got amnesia or whatever.
Goku was supposed to come to Earth and destroy it.
Well, that's been retconned.
Has it?
Yeah. Like if you watch the new Broly movie, and there's another moment it's mentioned as well, and I forget where, but like it's more like Bardock, his father, realizes that Planet Vegeta is about to get it's about to deuce, you know, like Frieza's like bad trouble, and like this reign is going to end really poorly. So he just sends his son off world, specifically to a world
to save him
that was not going to be hostile towards him.
Okay.
The thing is that he didn't really think that through, because his Saiyan training would just take over. He would see a moon, he would go Zaru, he would kill everybody.
Sure.
So Bardock's kind of stupid in that regard, but like Vegeta and everyone thinks that like he was sent there on a mission. So it's slightly retconned, you know. But
interesting.
Yes, yeah.
But either way, Raditz shows up to find his brother and I guess take him away from Earth,
or at least like I thought this place is supposed to be destroyed or whatever. I think is what Raditz was like. You were like sent here to like take over this planet.
Like, you're a Saiyan warrior.
Yeah, you're a Saiyan. Like this is what you're supposed to be doing. And Goku's like, what? So what? Like Raditz steals Goku's kid, because I think Raditz like senses like an innate ability in him, like via the scouter.
There's the moment that Gohan. So the whole thing with Gohan throughout Z is Gohan is like has this like super angry, like sort of like this hidden energy that when he gets angry, it just comes out of him and it erupts. So there's the moment when, you know, Goku's kind of getting roughed up by Raditz.
Great fight, by the way. Raditz Piccolo. It's one of the few 2-on-1 fights in the whole series, because it's all about like, oh, we like dueling because it's honorable or whatever. It's really dumb. It doesn't make sense to me.
It's really dumb.
It never makes sense to me. Like, the world's on the line, guys. Like, just jump this guy. Like, y'all, there's 12 of you in like one cell. Like, I'm sure you guys can take this guy.
Goku's just such a moron, though.
They're all morons. This whole series is filled with idiots. Like, but we're not here for the smarts.
Idiots.
Yeah, very entertaining idiots. Yeah. But yeah, they're getting, both of them are getting their asses kicked, and I think Gohan like pops out of
Gohan snaps. His power does erupt a bit, and like he's Raditz isn't expecting it. I'm pretty sure Gohan does like a flying headbutt at him.
Yeah. Breaks his armor, which hasn't broken yet during the fight, you know. Destroys his armor.
So fast forwarding through that fight a bit, so Piccolo shows up, you know, he's trying to help. And then actually something pretty insane happens, because, I mean, here we are in the beginning of this new series. You know, you had Goku and Dragon Ball and all those events that happened. Now he's grown up and he's had a kid and everything. There's apparently no way of beating Raditz, so Goku is basically going to sacrifice himself.
Kills himself. He dies in the first...
Yeah, he has Piccolo.
This season,
he has Piccolo do it. Piccolo does one of my favorite moves, the special beam cannon, dude.
The Makin Kosa Po, if you will.
Sure. Yeah. The swirly.
I'm going to be doing that a lot, and I'm sorry.
No, I appreciate it, because I just obviously don't know what they are in Japanese. So.
I used to study the Dragon Ball Z websites that like told me like what color a beam was, if it had electricity around it, what it was called, what its Japanese name was, what it's derived from.
You know what, Kyle?
I was all
of that information was for this moment.
I guess. I wish I remembered half of it. I had spreadsheets. I wish I remembered some of it.
Spreadsheets.
Chocobo So is purple with lightning around it, blue lightning around it. I know that.
Dude, I remember when I was watching this show, I'd go. The internet was such a new. It was new, right? Us in high school, it was a new thing.
It was.
But looking up power levels, like the numbers.
That's what the internet was for. You even knew what the farmer's power level was that Raditz killed when he lands on the planet. Yeah, and they do like a timeline of power level. Dude, the internet was so cool. The internet sucks now. Like,
it does.
What we used to use the internet for was super cool. Like what we use it for now, like besides this is great. But like the Facebooking and all that stuff sucks.
I appreciated the structure of power levels because when Super comes around, it kind of feels like it's what's going on here?
Halfway through Dragon Ball Z, it doesn't matter anymore. Like after the Frieza saga, where everyone's just like, wait, we don't need these. It's like neither do we. As a viewer, like it doesn't matter anymore.
But yeah, Goku.
I did like the power level. I liked all that stuff though. Like it was a way to gauge everybody and just kind of give you an idea of like this guy is X amount of levels higher than this other guy when you're fighting.
You would see the panic in them, like, oh shit.
Yeah, I think they just made a mistake by like immediately going to the thousands. Like you could have been like, yeah, Vegeta's a 6, and everybody else is a 1. I don't know.
I mean, they could have done the spreadsheet thing just like you, Kyle, and they could have kept track of it. I mean, they could have. They just didn't.
Easy, man. Just hire me. I could have kept it all intact for you guys. Yeah, my 8-year-old self could have.
But yeah, Goku just straight up gets killed in the very first like 20-ish episodes, or however many episodes that Raditz saga is. 12, 15, I don't even know.
I always say all of them are 100, which I know is not that season was 100 episodes.
No, it was not, Kyle. It just probably felt
it's
that
funny.
way.
I think the Saiyan saga is one of the shorter arcs, but it's the most happens in that season, I would say.
Yeah.
Because you hit so many things. You hit training regiments. You hit like this early like fight. You hit the fights just with Piccolo and Nappa. Like it feels like a lot happens in this season.
Well, it does.
That are very varied, and I think a year goes by in this season. Whereas like Namek, it's like they're on Namek trying to get Dragon Balls. They fight Ginyu, they fight Frieza. Like those are the things that happen. Like not a lot happens. Whereas this one, I feel like it bounces around a lot.
Yeah, well, so Goku dies, and then he's up on Snake Way, and he's running down Snake Way for a long time, a long time. But that's also to give room to, because what's happening on Earth is Piccolo starts to train Gohan.
Which this show was always about passing the torch to Gohan, which never happens, by the way. They try to in the Cell Saga, and then they're like, nah, never mind.
Well, it does technically happen, but then it's just kind of like, then he's just like a normal dude, and it's like,
he chooses to be a high schooler. He's like, I don't want to fight anymore and be a scholar. It's like, whatever, dude. Like,
it's because
but like that, the show was always about, because like these are shonen anime, and shonen being like magical boy or powerful boy or whatever. Like that Goku can't be that anymore. He's an adult, So like the idea is that you're passing it on to Gohan, and then the idea was that you're passing it on to Goten and Trunks, and that doesn't happen either. So we're all Goku
freaking Chi-Chi. I
blame it all. Goku cuts down here, Dan. I'll tell you.
Yes, that's true. That's true. But I also blame it on Chi-Chi.
It is Chi-Chi's fault. Yeah.
But yeah, so Piccolo's training Gohan while Goku's up on Snake Way. He's trying to get to King Kai's little planet. Yep. So he can get some training, learn Kaioken.
How many miles do you probably don't know. How many miles off the top of your head do you remember Snake? I remember it being like thousands of miles or something, and it's like
it feels like a billion miles.
They just pick numbers in this show.
And what's funny is like when he's running down Snake Way, there's even little sub like filler things that happen. There's like that whole like sort of like those demon women or almost like vampire snake women.
Yeah,
there's
are tricking Goku, snake lady, but there's also when he falls off and ends in.
Yes.
But depending on which version you watch, it's either Hell or Home for Infinite Losers, HFIL or whatever.
Sure.
Because on Toonami they had to edit it, They had to say Hell on their shirt, so it said Heffel instead. Dumb. One of the dumbest things ever. Hey, remember when all the blood was like black? They made all the blood black.
Right.
It's bruises.
When Krillin's hanging on Frieza's like horn for like
he's all bruised around here. It's just a slight bruising, Toonami's so dumb. Our censorship rules were so dumb, and they got kids. Yeah, well, whatever. We could handle it.
I mean, apparently not. We're Americans. We're softies. But yeah, so basically training Gohan, blah blah blah. And then so Vegeta and Nappa show up. That's the Vegeta arc.
Yep.
So you have the two additional Saiyans that show up, following sort of behind Raditz there. Much stronger than Raditz. Much stronger.
6 Raditzes, if I remember, a Saiyan Man was, or 3 Raditzes, or something like that. I forget.
Yeah.
Because I watch Dragon Ball Z Abridged if you never watched it, Dan. I think you'd really like that. Yeah, it's by Team 4-Star. It's like the entire show, and like I don't know, every episode covers like 10 episodes, and every episode's like 4 minutes, you know, and it's like redubbed, and it's like the funniest thing in the entire world.
It's just goofy nonsense being said.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate.
But by huge Dragon Ball Z fans from my hometown Dallas, I used to run into them all the time, like at ACON and stuff like that, anime conventions.
Nice.
But yeah, they're much stronger than Raditz. That's the whole point. Yeah. Like we have to train for a year because these guys are so much stronger.
Yes. And I'm trying to remember because Goku does come back. I forget. I'm pretty sure they do wish him back.
Yes, that's one of the. They wish him to come back alive, and then he runs back because there's only one wish by this point.
Right. He's like flying.
So he like suddenly he's alive, but he's in heaven. I don't really know how any of that works, but it doesn't matter.
But basically, he does his training on Kinkai's planet. He does get revived.
Kinkai's the greatest.
But meanwhile,
after that, it's great.
The what?
I was just saying, breezing past it, Kinkai's the greatest. He's, such a fun character.
He's a jokester, right? He's a jokester.
Yeah.
But so Goku does come back, but basically, meanwhile, Gohan's training concludes, but the Saiyans, Vegeta and Nappa show up, and so basically all the other Dragon Ball Z heroes have to go and help out. So we have Gohan, Piccolo, we got Tien. We got Yamcha, obviously the strongest.
Yajirobe is in and out.
Krillin. I completely should have mentioned Krillin first because he's definitely one of the more important guys. Chaozu, you said. So yeah, they all show up to basically defend the Earth before Goku gets there, which is a pretty common theme throughout this whole series. Is we all need to do what we can until Goku gets here.
Yeah.
We got to.
This time the stakes are high because you can only wish people back once. Krillin's already been wished back once, so if he dies, he's dead forever. If Piccolo dies, the Dragon Balls go away. Yeah. Because Piccolo and whatever, we don't have to get into all that. That's too much detail. Piccolo and actually, if one dies, the other dies. So.
Well, I forget because he does. So yeah, because we can again we can kind of bounce around within this, but like Piccolo does actually end up dying in this arc.
He does, which is why we have the Namek Saga, because they're like, we can't use our Dragon Balls anymore.
Yes,
the Dragon Balls are gone, so we have to go hunt down these other Dragon Balls for 49 episodes
that's before a fantastic
we actually get
moment.
To Namek.
Because basically he stands up in front of Gohan, and it's like literally right from the manga, right? Because it's like the coloring is like not even really there. It's just straight up the manga.
It's so beautiful, yeah.
And he's just getting blasted. He's protecting
and we
Gohan.
have to remember Piccolo's like been the bad guy all along. So he found his like heart by like raising this kid who's a better father to him than his own father.
Well, that's the joke, right?
That's the
Piccolo's
joke.
A better dad than Goku.
And he is, and like so for him to throw himself in front of his mortal enemy's offspring, it's a moment, man. I remember being a kid just being like, "Whoa!" Like, you could feel the sacrifice, even at that young age. It was an impactful moment. But Chaozu dying, super crazy. Dude, he suicides himself on Nappa. Yamcha gets blown up by Cybermen.
All of them die.
An idiot. Tien gets his arm ripped off, and then he gets killed, and he gets beaten to death. That's pretty cool. They all die. Yeah, Krillin is literally Yajirobe, who's a coward this whole season.
He does have one important moment.
He does, yeah. In Dragon Ball, very powerful. He's Korin's bodyguard. He is the bodyguard of like half god, like Kami's like true god, and like Korin's kind of like
cat god.
Yeah, cat god. Yeah,
cat god.
He's like, Yajirobe's a big deal or whatever, and in this he's just like totally played for laughs and stuff like that, which is fine. I don't mind it. He comes back often, and it's just like super funny to me.
Yeah.
But they all die besides Gohan, who totally bitches out this entire season. And in
he's
fact,
just a kid, man. I mean, how old is he?
He's like
7, 8 years old.
Yeah,
he's like a child.
Yeah, he's a child, but like Goku was that young and was like,
sure,
care of business,
But he wasn't
Chi-Chi. It's Chi-Chi. It's back to Chi-Chi.
it is Chi-Chi's fault. But I mean, think about it too. In retrospect, like what Gohan, even just in this one moment, is dealing with versus what Goku dealt with. I feel like what Gohan
way bigger stakes, dude.
Yeah, I mean, he just watched all his friends die.
Goku was like beating some like corporation who had a lot of money.
Red
like
Ribbon Army.
Gohan's facing down like aliens, you know, who are here to destroy the Earth. Yeah, very good point. I appreciate that point. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
But yeah, like it's just they're all dropping like flies, and I think it's just Nappa that's taking them out too. It's not even Vegeta.
We don't even see Vegeta fight.
Like
we don't even see Vegeta fight. Like and like at the time, like we don't know he's about to be like a main character good guy. We don't know that he's. You know, like when you're watching this for the first time, you're just like, oh, he's a littler guy. Why is the big guy taking you know orders from the little guy or whatever? And yeah, we don't see him fight until Goku shows up, totally punks Nappa, which like, by the way, seeing that, like when Goku shows up finally, and like we just watch all of our greatest heroes like just get their butts kicked by this guy, like Goku just totally toys with him like in such amazing ways where you're like, well, this is gonna be a really easy fight, but like again, like the little guy's the bigger guy, you know, and that was the main event, was that like Vegeta versus Goku fight, which
Vegeta is actually the one that kills Nappa, by the way.
You're right. Yeah, I mean,
I'm pretty sure he hurls him up in the air.
Nappa's back, right? Like he
messes him up real bad.
He banes him, you know. He Batmans him, and Vegeta like reaches out to grab him, like throws him in the air and blasts him.
Blasts him away.
So now we're watching like a bad guy kill his, you know, his number one, you know. So we know this guy doesn't care about anybody. Like,
and quickly too.
Yeah, very quickly. Yeah,
and quickly too, which is like,
Vegeta's arc is my favorite. I get so mad that Akira Toriyama hates this character, which is why he never gives Vegeta his moment, because it's a middle finger to the fans constantly. It's like, oh, you want Vegeta to be the he will be every once in a while, but then Goku's gonna come in and like totally overshadow him always, every time.
Sure,
it's kind of crazy to me, but
he does have really excellent moments. So like me rewatching it as an adult now, I appreciate Vegeta way more now. And then when Super rolls around, and there's like the moments where he's like, there's like some pretty hilarious moments. With like him and Beerus when he's trying to like distract Beerus because I forget what it was, but there's some amazing moments with Vegeta. But
I like when Vegeta gets really mad when Beerus like slaps Bulma, and he's like, "That's my wife!" And he like
my wife.
Yeah, it's so good. I love it. I love it so much. I love that. Like Bulma and Vegeta end up together, and I know I'm getting a little ahead of it, but like Vegeta's whole arc is just awesome to me.
But first,
now it's an archetype in anime. It's the bad guy who turns good. Like how often do we get that now? You know?
Yeah. But this was he was a bad guy at first, and he fights Goku and really roughs him up. It gets to the point where he turns into, and I can't remember the actual proper term, Ozaru. Thank you. He turns into the massive ape because of the moon. And just demolishes Goku. He's like breaks the bottom half of his body. Like, Goku's just lying there. So, and then they have to try to sever his tail, which is the shining moment for Yajirobe.
We see the trend start of the Spirit Bomb failing every time.
The Spirit Bomb. Thank you. This is the first.
I like it. The Spirit Bomb gets taught to Goku by King Kai. You know, like it's the trump card of the anime. It's the Deus Ex Machina of the anime. You know, and it never works ever except on Boo, which we'll get to at some point. You know, it never works. So,
yeah. That's true. That's very valid. Just it's such a simple but like cool thing. Just this massive
it is cool. I love
orb of energy, like,
and it becomes more important because then like you're like, oh, the other heroes are like giving him power. Like it's it becomes way more important as it goes on too, as you know, big moment in the anime. Just it's funny to me that's failed a success ratio.
It's true. But basically everyone gets really roughed up. Everyone's in bad shape, but they do eventually end up beating Vegeta's ass enough where Vegeta has to retreat. So Vegeta retreats. He jumps back into his little pod ship and he flies off planet. He's just real roughed up. His ego, his pride is a big thing for Vegeta. His pride has been demolished a bit. By these warriors that he just was not anticipating beating them, because he is a warrior prince.
Yep.
And they are not. So, but yeah, so Vegeta retreats. Basically everyone's dead except for Krillin. Krillin, Gohan, and Goku. I think those are the only ones. So then Goku's basically in the hospital recovering, which is hilarious because it's like he's a Saiyan, so he's just gonna recover. Or just get sensu beans, right? Just give him some goddamn sensu beans, like.
The most like another Deus Ex Machina like thing in this anime, where it's just like here, this can undo everything. Much like everything about Dragon Ball Z is just like retconning stuff. Like, oh, the Dragon Balls can just bring back people, and it's very funny.
At least there's some rules, right? I mean,
well, yeah, but you have a lot of redo MacGuffins.
You do, absolutely. Which, speaking of which, this is a Funko Pop, but it doesn't look as cheesy as the other Funko Pops.
I love it. Yeah, look at Shenron.
Got Shenron.
Oh man,
the Dragon Balls right there. Yeah.
If all Funko Pops look like that, I'd collect more of them. I have a bunch of Star Wars ones, but they're all goofy looking. You know.
Yeah, this mofo doesn't mess around.
That's cool, man. He doesn't have a dumb bobblehead. He just looks cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he doesn't mess around when you summon him. He's like, "Hurry up, give me your wish. Hurry up."
Except when Beerus is there, then he's like, well, "Sorry, Beerus. Yeah, my bad, dude."
That was amazing.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah.
But yeah, so basically, we'll fast forward a bit. So Goku's in the hospital, blah blah blah. Like you said, they have to revive all their friends. So they're like, "All right, well, let's look for."
But they have to wait they have to like, and I forget how long the passage of time is between like leaving Earth and getting to Namek, but like
it's not actually not too long, because basically what they do is they I think it's Goku's pod from when he was a child is still lying.
Sure. But remember they like land on false Namek, remember, with that guy who like
it's quite a few episodes, but actual time within those episodes, I think it's like less than a week, to be honest.
Yes, I think you're right. about that. Yeah.
But yeah, so basically they was it Bulma's dad? Was it Briefs?
Yeah, Professor Briefs.
Yeah, Professor Briefs basically uses that technology, makes a ship so they can fly to Namek, so they can use the Namekian Dragon Balls to go ahead and revive all of their friends.
Yeah.
So they make the journey to Namek.
Skip all that filler. Who gives a shit about that?
And things.
I hate Namek so much. I think it's so stupid.
Oh, you see, well, so the Frieza saga, I think, was like for a while my favorite, and
Namek proper is my favorite, but like the fake Namek, the stuff that like when they land and like I hate that. It's like 10 episodes and it's awful. I just hate it so much. Real Namek might actually still be my favorite saga of all the it might be.
It's definitely the most important, I think, out of all of them.
And even though I said like not a lot happens, the biggest moments happen.
Oh, like, absolutely.
The transformations, and just even finding the Ginyu Force is just like so cool. I like Ginyu Force is like one of my favorite parts of Dragon Ball. I know they're so goofy. I know they like dance and like do poses and stuff, but like I think they're so great because all their powers are so different. And like I felt like it was the last time where like they got really creative with the crew. Whereas in Super, it's like, here's a planet of werewolf people. And I'm like, well, what's special about them? Well, they're different colors. And it's like, all right. Okay.
Oh, look, there's this universe has Saiyans too, and they're just like little people. It's like, all right.
Yeah, it feels like there's a lot of like phone in, like, you know. Whereas the Ginyu Force, I feel like is really fleshed out, and you're like, yeah, there's like a Toad guy who can freeze time, and you know, a speedster, and I mean,
like when you get to like, you know, by the end of it, when it's just basically Ginyu. It's like in retrospect they're actually all pretty weak, or at least compared to when Goku shows up. But
the stuff leading up to like fighting Frieza in the Namek Saga felt the most like Dragon Ball to me too, because it was Krillin and it was Gohan standing for Goku and it was Bulma.
Bulma was there,
you know, like it felt like a Dragon Ball adventure to me, which I thought was really cool throwback. Yeah, because by then I had seen Dragon Ball. I think I saw all of the Saiyan Saga before I went back to Dragon Ball. So.
Well, with the Frieza saga, basically, I mean, the whole thing is basically the Namekian arc, but within that, you have like the Ginyu arc.
There are multiple arcs,
there are a lot of
sub-arcs within the arc.
Yeah, you have the Ginyu arc, and then you kind of basically have like Vegeta, like kind of teetering the line of like good guy, bad guy. That's sort of the beginning, because he's helping Gohan and Krillin at one moment.
He's out for his own,
but he's out for his own
and
agenda.
He knows he can't trust Frieza, and he kind of finds unlikely allies in the Earthlings, and the uneasy alliance begins, as Huber would say.
So yes, Vegeta wants the Dragon Balls so he can summon. Was it Purungu? I think is the
Purunga. Yeah.
Purunga.
Yep.
The Namekian dragon, so he can wish for immortality, so he can kill Frieza, because not sure if anyone knows, Frieza killed the entire Saiyan planet, killed basically all of the Saiyans, which was like that one of those like beginning moments of like, oh shit, this guy literally just lifts a finger and creates an orb big enough to literally swallow all of the Saiyans that are floating kind of like above in the atmosphere. You have that scene where it's just enveloping all of them and they're just disintegrating. And the planet
gets that.
Yeah, like, and it's like that's one of those beginning moments. It's like, oh, okay, that's what the show's doing. Like we're just blowing planets up in like a second. Okay.
Well, yeah, we've graduated from cities to planets now.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. And again, like that's like you said, it's a really important moment in the terms of like the power dynamic of the show.
Frieza
where it's like we're well beyond like what we were fighting before, you know.
Yeah, like
Frieza boy, I hope Goku really wakes up from whatever he's doing right now.
Well, so by this point, like so as you're going through these arcs, like Goku is basically fully healed. He's also traveling to Namek in his own ship with a gravity machine because he's going to do training on the way there. So he's doing all this intense training and there's sort of like all these kind of stretched out episodes. Like there's the one where like the machine sort of like gets wonky and the gravity is like 100 times and he can't move, but he's like swinging to try to turn it off. And there's like a gravity like pull of like his ship going into like a sun or something. Like I forget what it was, but But he does like some cool Kamehameha stuff, which is pretty sick. To literally push the ship away from like the gravity pull, which is kind of cool.
I forget, does he start shooting himself with the Kamehameha here? Like, is this when he finds out that like hurting your because I think he learns on the ship that like when you really hurt yourself, like you get stronger. Vegeta finds this out later, like on planet, but I might be wrong, but is he?
I think it's Vegeta that figures that out first.
Is it him? Okay, for whatever reason, I have memories of like Goku on like the ship, like Kamehameha himself, like where it's circling around the ship and hitting himself.
Yeah, I think he was either trying to sort of like kind of bounce it back, I forget, but messed up, or kind of blocking it to sort of he's doing like all sorts of different things, but he is shooting the Kamehameha like around the ship. As part of his training.
I think Vegeta's the one that finds out. He's like, oh, like last time I got hurt, like I'm twice as strong now.
Yeah, basically when you're
how are you 30 years old and just now finding this out, you know? Like, seems like a genetic trait you should know about pretty quickly, you know?
Well, it's like because so basically when Frieza kills like basically all the Saiyans, and then he essentially like just takes Vegeta into his army.
There's a couple off-worlders like Nappa, like Vegeta. Like there's a few people who are like off on missions. Besides Vegeta, he was off his on planet.
But essentially he's like
all right, you guys are just my posse now. You know.
Yeah, but they're like almost like slaves, right? They're like slave warriors. He's like he killed their entire
bodyguards.
race. Yeah. So it's like he sends them to planets that probably aren't as strong as they are, and they're just blowing up these planets, and they just don't really think anything of it. I suppose.
They're enforcers. Yeah.
But yeah, as you're going through the Namekian saga, so Piccolo also at one point gets revived.
He gets wished back. Well, we figure out that the Namekian Dragon Balls have 3 wishes, so we can now we can wish for someone to come alive
as many times as you want.
And we can wish for them to teleport here, which you couldn't do with the Earth Dragon Ball. So they burn those 2 wishes on Piccolo, which I thought was awesome because he totally cuts in line. Like they're all trying to decide who's gonna go, and Piccolo's like, "It's me," and I'm like, "Yeah, dude."
Yeah, absolutely.
Immediately fuses with Nail, which is we learn about fusion, which becomes so important as the series goes on.
First time for fusion. Yep, first time for fusion.
You know, and we also kind of skipped over like Guru, like unlocks. Like this is the very first time we had MacGuffin power ups where it's like you have unlocked potential, and I touch your head, and you're 10 times stronger.
Yeah.
You know, which is fine. I don't care about that stuff. But they use that a few more times through the series.
But those are the moments that basically it's to sort of kind of like add a little bit of like, okay, well, there's at least a little bit of balance to go against Frieza. Because again, Frieza's like in his first form, which, you know, we'll talk about his forms. But like he's just like this little dude with like this little almost kind of pipsqueak voice. He's
a pipsqueak voice, and he's in a wheelchair. He's in a floating wheelchair. You know, so you're like, how powerful can this guy be? Yeah, he's like Xavier floating around like a weird pink guy. You know, like
but yeah, he's like insanely powerful. So like, there's all these sort of different like situations where it's like we got to increase your power. We got to increase your power in order to sort of be able to stave off all of these other threats that are going on during this arc. You know, like the Ginyu Force and you know, just free Vegeta being kind of a pain because he's like sort of helping them.
He's a fair weather hero at this point.
Yeah, he's bouncing back and forth because again he does want the Dragon Balls for himself. So,
We get a good redemption on that though when he gets almost aced, or I guess he does get aced.
He does,
like,
yeah.
I'm so sorry about everything. Yeah. It's like, all right, dude, yeah.
But Goku eventually does show up during the Ginyu arc, and basically just murks all of them except for Ginyu, and then I'm forgetting he's the one with the long hair.
Jace.
Jace, thank you.
He's from Space Australia.
Yeah.
He's got an Australian accent for some reason.
Exactly. And then there's that whole arc where like Ginyu can basically swap like his like soul with like someone else, which is so
things got a little wacky. I like the Ginyu Force a lot, but all that stuff I'm like
the body swap thing is stupid. I can't stand and
then the frog stuff which becomes like an ongoing never-ending joke, which I'm here for, but it's just like it's dumb.
All the way into Super, Kyle.
Like, way into Super,
it's so dumb. It's so dumb. But yeah, he swaps bodies with Goku, and then obviously Goku gets his body back. But at that point, what was it? Ginyu like punched himself in Goku's body, so then when Goku gets his body back, like he's all damaged. So then he's like
crippled,
he Vegeta's like, oh, let's put him in that like healing sort of pod.
We'll make a Star Wars reference. We'll call it a back to tank.
Sure. That's a good way of putting it.
That's what it is, pretty much.
So then Goku's out of commission, right? Because there's always got to be the Goku's out of commission, so everyone else has to sort of buy time until Goku.
Then we get our best moment in the series was when Vegeta's like, "You kids need armor," and he gives Krillin and Gohan the sickest armor. Like they never look cooler than when they're in this armor. You know?
But yeah, they get the armor. Vegeta's like gonna help him out. We're gonna figure this out. Frieza does eventually show up.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh shit! Like, what are we supposed to do here? Like,
it's after they had made the 2 wishes. I think Frieza's like, what? Because I think he sees like the skies darken and like the dragon from off in the distance. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And then I'm a little hazy here because I know Piccolo shows up, but I think Piccolo fights him in his second form.
He does, yeah. He doesn't show up until after Krillin gets stabbed.
Right. Yeah.
And I forget, like, Vegeta or someone, like, goats the second form out of him. He's like, I know this isn't your full power. You should just, like, power up or whatever.
We're completely forgetting about Dende. Dende is a super important character.
Hey, Dan, are we, though? Are we forgetting
no, we
Dende?
are, because he heals Krillin and Vegeta at one point from
that's his biggest, and then he becomes Kami, but like he's never as cool as Kami. You know?
Sure, but I'm saying
I like Dende. Dende's cool, very very
plays
big.
A very important role because he basically is healing all of these guys.
Well, yeah,
while they're trying to buy time for.
Well, and we learn RPG mechanics in this show. When you take out the healer, you cripple the crowd. You cripple the crew. So when Vegeta or when Frieza finally takes him out, like they're so screwed. You know, like
the beam goes past all of them. It shows that like kind of zooming past all of them, and then just goes right for Dende. So
I was like, dude, he just killed that kid. Even though I watched him kill several kids during this entire season, I was like, that one really stung for whatever reason.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Dende is super important because he's healing these guys as they're basically doing their best to try to just buy time for Goku, trying to fight Frieza. Piccolo shows up.
Piccolo shows up and kicks the crap out of Frieza's second form. I mean,
he holds his own
contest.
Yeah, he holds his own.
But in the third form, things get dicey. I think. And I forget, like, Frieza says something like, very few people have seen this form. And then I think in the last form, he's like, no one's ever seen this form before. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
Third. What's your
so 4 forms altogether, right?
Yeah. What's your grade on the forms here? I like the. I hope we do this with Cell too. Like, how do you feel? Like, what do you vibe?
Obviously, last form is the best. Right. It's just,
I think it's sleek and cool. Yeah.
The second form is cool because he's just like the super tall, like just yoked dude. Like he's just massive. Sure. The third form is the worst.
No, dude. See, we're gonna have to disagree here.
Third form
is just he's just a giant buff xenomorph. I'm here for it, dude.
But
I'm like so all the way lips. Here for it. I thought Ripley was gonna come out and be like, "Not today, motherfucker." Someone's getting sued over this design.
It's the lip.
It's kind of weird, and I like his voice in 3. I think his voice is crazy in 3, and it's just alien looking. Like 2, he's just a buff dude.
Yeah. But he does look quite different though.
Yeah.
Compared to his first form.
Oh yeah, well he's out of his wheelchair. Yeah, you can watch.
Yeah, he's out of his wheelchair. Yeah, exactly. And he got much taller. Maybe he was just standing up straight.
His voice was cooler too. I like his voice in the second form a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. But
so dude has 4 forms. It's a lot of forms.
And 5 if you count Golden Frieza.
Like
later,
him going full 100 power.
Or yeah, 6 if you count full 100.
Yeah.
Because then he gets golden later too, which
yes,
is a whole thing.
Yeah, that is a whole thing. Just colors, adding colors, and so on.
I'm just gonna do gold too, I guess.
But basically, then Goku does wake up eventually from being healed, and now he's even stronger because again, near-death experiences. You get healed, and then you're stronger. So at that point, I forget, he shows up, and he's fighting Frieza, and he's kicking his ass. I think.
I think he's in his third form.
Yeah. In his third form, if I'm not mistaken, he's
he's in his first form, right? Because he shoots Dende, and like he changes and then shoots Dende, and Goku's still asleep at this time. So
right.
I think Goku shows up and like he's kind of giving it to Frieza, but Frieza turns it on him like really quickly, like super quickly, and you're like, that power up thing didn't work, like what are we gonna do now?
But I couldn't remember if it was like he basically is at the tail end of the third form Goku.
No, he for sure he changed to 4,
but I think when Frieza then goes to his final form or fourth form is when he kills Vegeta. So you have the moment
Vegeta
where he
dies I think Goku arrives right as Vegeta's dead, or maybe Vegeta like butts in like during the fight or something and then gets killed. That part I'm hazy on.
But Goku's there.
But Goku is there, and that's when Vegeta like gives his like, dude, you have to avenge us. Like our entire race was killed by this guy, and I know you don't like me, but like I'm fucking dying here, man. And
dude, he's got tears.
You need
like,
to you need to step up, and like take care of this for our people, and I don't care if you're an Earthling or a Saiyan, like you're the last person who can handle this, and Goku takes it to heart, and then we see Vegeta die, and like it's the very first time we're like, oh no, like maybe not the first time, but it was the first time where like you saw like a real human side to Vegeta, where it wasn't about it wasn't about him, it was about like
the race,
so much
their race being murdered by this maniac alien, like and that's like the most serious, I think, at that point, right? At that point where he like buries Vegeta, and like he's just like, all right, I'm gonna fight Frieza now. He's just stone cold serious, like like I'm not effing around.
He's super serial, that's for sure.
Super serial, yes. So yeah, that fight goes through, and basically it does get to the point where Goku is just not. He gets to a point where he's like, I can't beat this guy, not by the traditional means, just fisticuffs and some blasts. Like I can't do it that way. So he starts using the Spirit Bomb, but we really like see what the Spirit Bomb is capable of, and this is like one of the joke things where it's like, oh, the Spirit Bomb looks at 30 episodes later, just kind of like taking a while.
Binging it's not so bad though, you know what I mean? It goes by quick whenever you're like binging it. But
I skipped episodes.
Watching it week to week, or even like on Toonami, it was on 5 days a week. Like watching it day to day, it was like, this is ridiculous. Because sometimes it'd be like 2 weeks of them charging a beam,
Yeah. Well, that's basically what the Spirit Bomb is. It's literally it's literally like 10. It feels like, I think it was like 10 episodes. Like
it's like 8 to 10. I think it is. Yeah.
It's quite a lot. So I did skip around because I do remember that basically Piccolo's trying to buy time and he gets roughed up and so on and so forth. But so basically then we do get to the point where Goku has amassed enough energy and he just hucks that thing down at Frieza, and somehow Frieza just didn't sense it or see it. Like, it's like, it's like this massive glowing orb in the sky.
And I'm not even saying like it's so big you can see it from orbit. Like, it's not even just massive; it's gargantuan. It's so. So yeah, I have no idea. Especially now that he can sense power, because I think he kind of learns that like halfway through this fight. He's like, oh, this is how y'all are doing it. Yeah. I just have no idea how he didn't sense that. Like, what do you think he's doing there? As Goku's like, give me your energy, and he's just like, what? I don't.
Stretching.
Yeah, right. Doing yoga,
But so he launches that thing at Frieza, and Frieza basically like catches it, and he's just getting pushed down by the force of the orb coming down and collides into the planet. Explosion, and everyone's all like, "Oh man,
very sad.
We did it! We did it, guys! We made it just by the skin of our teeth." And well, that's not the case. That is not the case. Because he blasts was it Piccolo right through the chest? So Piccolo's
he does like his finger laser.
His little finger laser, and Piccolo's down for the count, like basically already like near death. He's not dead.
He's not dead, but like he's not doing anything for the rest of the season. So.
Yeah. For this moment, he's not doing a thing. And then we have one of the most heartbreaking moments in the beginning of the whole thing. he picks up Krillin up into the sky.
Yeah.
And Krillin's like, Goku, help me! Boom!
Yeah,
blows him up. Kablooey. There goes Krillin. He's dead.
Crazy. Yeah, and you see, like, there's a frame where, like, Krillin's body's expanding, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah,
it's really, like, I remember being a kid just being like, oh my god.
Yeah. That was devastating.
But then we get one of, I mean, not to use hyperbole here, but one of the greatest moments of my entire life, I think.
Up goes the weasel. I won't let you get away with this! I won't let you!
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely, Kyle. Because this is the legend, right? Because Vegeta actually mentions it throughout this arc or the saga. He's like Super Saiyan, like he thinks Goku is a Super Saiyan at one point.
A few times,
and they're like, wait, what Super Saiyan? What even is that? And yeah, Frieza just murders Goku's friend right in front of him, and Goku's just is like foaming at the mouth. And his eyes are turning white, and his hair starts to glow black, and then black gold, and the lightning shooting and everything. And the music is so much better in the American version. Like, it's fine in the Japanese version, but God, it's so I like rewatched it because I was like, I remember the music being so good in this moment in the Toonami American version.
I agree, and it's the opposite for Gohan turning Super Saiyan 2 during the Cell Saga.
Yeah,
I remember the song being in English being like the worst, and then the other song in Japanese being
That's funny.
I don't remember the song's name. Oh, I used to remember the song's name, but whatever. It's so much better, you know. It's funny.
But we have the first Goku goes Super Saiyan. First time we're seeing any sort of transformation of a Saiyan. It happens. Yeah. And he's also and like when he goes Super Saiyan, he's just like a different person. His is super serious.
Changes,
because he's like yelling at Gohan to get the hell out of here. He's like, you need to go and take Piccolo and go. And and he's like yelling at him because Gohan's like, no, I can help, and he's like, no, get the fuck out of here.
You can't.
So then there's basically this is now where things have flipped over, and Goku is like is pretty much just kicking his ass.
It's like not even a contest. Yeah. Very satisfying too. You're like, wow, well, look at this like power margin that he cleared.
Yeah. And he's buying time too because he wants Gohan to get off the planet. But Goku is just wrecking Frieza, and then there's sort of the point where then Frieza kind of like buffs up. He gets like extra jack, so it's like final form.
Which Goku, and I think one of the very first times is like, I'll let you power up. Like, and they do this for the rest of the show forever. You know, becomes a staple. But like, he's like, go ahead, man. Yeah, I'm gonna fight you 100%. You know, which they lean into it in Super in fun ways. I think he's like, we're just looking for a good fight, you know. And I'm like, sure. I mean, sure. That's why I'm watching, man. I get it. Yeah.
But in this case, it's very dangerous game to play because he powers up and then he still can't quite beat Goku. So what does he do? He basically just blasts right into the planet. And the planet's like in self-destruct mode essentially. Like
he gives, this is another meme, the 5-minute countdown.
Yes.
And then 89 episodes pass. All right, I don't know if that's right, but that's what it feels like. Yeah.
It's a lot. Yeah, I remember that.
I think it's legit like 20 something episodes like pass or whatever, and it's just like longest 5 minutes ever. And they do that in Super again, where they're like, this whole season takes place in 48 minutes, and there's like, I don't know, 20 hours of content. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I remember nothing in Dragon Ball.
I remember that distinctly rewatching it. I was like, oh, okay, 5 minutes, sure. And then like 5 episodes later, and they're like,
now
four-ish minutes. It's like what? Like,
and I get it. Like, it's supposed to like be like, well, they're moving that fast or whatever. I'm like, but they're having the conversation this slow though. So
sure.
It's like the majority of that fight, them stopping and being like, well, you have 2 minutes. I'm like, well, that's like 30 seconds right there. So I don't know. It's very, very silly, but don't think about it. It's not a big deal, you know?
Yeah.
Because this is one of the greatest fights in the history. Like, you're like the whole background of the exploding planet, and like the weather is getting out of control there, and like there's tornadoes and lightning, and like all this stuff is going on, and they're just sitting there fighting on this like incredible vista. And like we're talking like early mid-90s animation, and it was super good. I know like Dragon Ball is like really known for like reusing cells, you know, reusing like animated like scenes and stuff like that, but like there was still a lot of like really robust things going on in this particular fight that like to this day are very like awe-inspiring to me.
It was the most visually sort of like intense fight up until this point, because now you have this like he's a Super Saiyan now, so he's just like his power is insane, and then Frieza is still like kind of trying to catch up. Like he's super powerful, but like it's just. And the planet's
and we learn later, but at this time, Frieza had never trained a day in his life, so he's just naturally and giftedly this powerful, you know. And then we learn later that when he comes back to life, he's like, "Oh, if you train, you become stronger." It's like, yeah, dummy. Like, what a dumb plot line this is.
What a lazy prick.
It's so funny. It's the dumbest plot line in the world. But hey, man, it gets us to where we need to be, which is another fight with Frieza. Which, like, dude, can I just say something really controversial? You can bring that guy back as much as you want. I think he's the best bad guy ever. I think he's in this universe, you know.
Yeah.
You want to bring him back for every season? I don't give a shit, you know.
Yeah, because it sort of like changes a bit in Super. Like what happens at the end there, things are kind of like, it's almost like kind of like right in the beginning with Vegeta, right? Like sort of teetering, like, is he actually gonna kind of be good or not? Like what's going on there? Like it's kind of a mystery. You're like, oh, I'm not 100% sure. Like,
but I don't know if you've seen the Broly. Have you seen the Broly movie?
No, not yet.
Prioritize it to me. Like go home, like literally get off this podcast and watch it to me. It's the best. I think it's the best Dragon Ball anything ever, personally. I think the animation is so out of this world. But in that, like, Frieza's bad again, you know? So it's like, even after their, like, relationship during Tournament of Power, like, the second he gets relinquished, he's just like, I'm back off to my bad boy shit, you know? Which I'm totally here for.
He's
but
an addict.
there is a growing heart in him. Or, like, he realizes he may not maybe want to destroy the whole universe, you know. Maybe he just kind of wants to rule it or something. I don't know.
Right.
Like he's slowly rehabbing. I don't know.
Occasionally he relapses, destroys a planet or two.
Yeah. Which is fine.
Which is fine.
We all
now I'm forgetting the details here at the very end, but again, those 5 minutes last forever. But there's like a bunch happening because Gohan's trying to rush off the planet. Bulma's off somewhere. He's got to get Bulma. But like they basically all get wished off of the planet. But I'm trying to remember. They don't fly off of the planet. They all get wished off back onto Earth.
They do, yeah.
They revive all the Namekians.
They are able, since Piccolo is alive, that means the Dragon Balls are back on Earth. So Bulma wishes for everybody on Namek to be brought back to life, which means everyone who's been killed by Vegeta and his crew gets brought back to life, which includes Guru.
But it's got to be someone else that does it, because if they're on Earth,
hold on. So Guru comes back alive, which means the other Dragon Balls are back now, and there's one wish left because they only use 2 of the 3.
Right.
And with that wish, they wish for everyone to be transported to Earth.
Right. I'm just trying to remember who uses the Earth Dragon Balls for, because Bulma's on. She's on Namek.
It's just like Master Roshi and the pig guy.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah. It's Peru, you know, like the flying cats that. Like they wish it back,
Okay. Yeah, because I couldn't remember.
It's nothing like huge or ceremonial or anything.
No.
Dende's the one that, like, when he realizes he's alive, he's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And there's Purunga, and then he goes there, and King Kai is like talking.
Yeah.
and Yamcha and Tien and everything like that. They're like, Dende, you got to go like wish for everybody back to Earth or whatever,
Earth,
and that's how everyone gets transported.
Yeah.
So now it's just Vegeta, excuse me. It's just
Goku
and Frieza on this planet that's like got at least 200 Earth minutes left to blow up, 5 Dragon Ball Z minutes.
But yeah, it basically is like, yeah, so like Goku does eventually, so Goku does a whole like back and forth there because he basically like Frieza
he's talking to Kikai while like fighting Frieza, I think.
Yeah,
right?
but like and Frieza does like his own like Destructo Disc type of move, but ends up severing like half of his own body off. And then Goku gives him a little bit of energy so he can try to escape off the planet. But then just still has to be Frieza, and like when Goku turns his back, is about to strike him, but then Goku actually does kill him.
Yeah.
Or
it's a cool moment because
or they think he kills him.
It's one of the moments where you realize like Goku's always gonna be a good guy. Like you pleaded with me, I'll give you a little power, you can get off planet. This is after like he's cut in half and everything like that. He's like, here's a little bit of... I don't know how Frieza's alive still. I guess he doesn't need a spleen or whatever. I don't know. Or stomach or lungs or whatever.
As long as the brain is intact, I guess.
I don't know. He's going to be a robot here in a few episodes, so who knows?
Well, that's why I said, they think he's dead. But but Goku's trying to escape off the planet, and he can't.
He can't. He gets to the ship, and like the ship doesn't work, and it's just like it's kind of over. And then now begins the nebulous conversation. Can people breathe in space in this show?
Right.
I guess Saiyans can because all the Saiyans are like in orbit, like when they're fighting Frieza, when like Planet Vegeta gets
they
destroyed.
must be still within the atmosphere to be able to...
I don't know. But like Goku is existing in the vacuum of space. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
and that's what they mentioned. They're like, he can't breathe in space. He's going to die. Like,
yeah, but he does.
He does escape. But I think he does escape off the ship.
He's on the ship. I think you're right because he flies the ship to that other planet where he learns instant transmission or whatever.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think he does get the ship working. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we see it blow up and like that's the big cliffhanger. It's like, I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, is Goku dead? Like, what's going on? Like, and everybody's on planet Earth, and including Vegeta, by the way.
Gearing up for everyone's favorite, the Garlic Jr. saga. Am I right, Dan?
No. Gearing up to almost be like kind of like, is he gonna just like cause some trouble here on Earth? Maybe not. Maybe he is. Maybe he isn't. He kind of flies away. He kind of messes with Gohan a little bit. He's like kind of being a dick to him, like a little bit. But Piccolo's like, hey, knock it off, dude. Like, chill out. But yeah, that basically concludes the Frieza saga. So we think Goku is dead at that point. So Kyle, we're an hour and 12 minutes in, and we're only
do you want to do this 2 parts?
This may be more than 2 parts.
You want to do 3 parts for this bad boy?
This is how much we love Dragon Ball. We are literally...
I don't mind making this 3 episodes as long as it's your shit, bro. So
we discussed the first 2 sagas of Dragon Ball Z, the Saiyan saga and the Frieza saga. The next saga after that,
Garlic Jr., of course, yeah.
Yep, yeah. So actually, they just repeat the Garlic Jr. saga between each main saga. Every
single time. It doesn't even make sense. Now, Gohan's a kid again. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. He's
just there all of a sudden again, and then he goes away.
Hey, you guys asked for it; they delivered.
They certainly did ask for it. Yes.
Everybody on Earth was like, more garlic, please. Absolutely.
But where we leave off with the Frieza saga is like, is everything okay? What's going on with Goku? So that kind of leads into, so again, I'm calling it the Cell saga, but there are multiple arcs within that. And the first arc is the Trunks arc. The introduction of, arguably the coolest character in all of Dragon Ball.
Thank you. I feel like I'm surrounded by a lot of Trunks haters, so I appreciate you saying that.
How do you hate a Super Saiyan with a sword?
So that's my whole thing. Like, I'm a real simple guy, Dan. You put a sword in anything that it really doesn't belong in, I'm probably going to be there for it,
Yeah.
In a world where like people are shooting beams, like why does anybody have a sword? Because that's why. It's cool, yeah.
It's a sword.
He's wearing like a denim jacket, We see a Super Saiyan for the second time ever, and then you learn he's from the future. It's just like this guy's got it all. This guy's the full package,
Yeah. Well, to jump right to the main point with the sword, the reason why the sword is cool is the way that he kills Frieza. That's why it's cool. Yeah. He fucking hacks him up into little bits of ham. and then he does his little move, and then he kind of blasts him like this, like, dude, and he's just gone. He's just gone, like, just like that in an instance. Like, here we had an entire thing about Frieza and how insanely strong he is, and this dude shows up and just, mincemeat, and then blasts him, and he's done, just like that. I mean, so yeah, Super Saiyans plus swords equals fantastic.
Always cool, super cool.
Absolutely.
We get to meet King Cold too. That's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
We get to learn a little more about the Frieza family, which, like, I love Frieza, but his whole family thing never makes sense to me. So, are they stronger than him?
I mean,
I thought he was the strongest.
Well, so after watching the Broly movie, it's like King Cold just like retires apparently. So that's why like Frieza's in charge apparently.
Yeah, or. Either that, or is he just in charge of like the same? I think you're right. I think he's just taking over the whole empire.
In the beginning,
but what about his brother? Like, is he a younger brother?
Cooler.
Yeah, he's not canon, is he? We don't count.
I don't know, but like that dude looks so cool.
Yeah,
that was like the only DBZ movie I ever did see back in the day. And
first, not Meta Cooler, but regular, like the first.
Yeah,
one?
Just regular. Yeah. Not even gonna acknowledge Metal Cooler.
Okay. First off, how dare you? No, it's actually one of my least favorite movies, so I get it.
But just aesthetically, like the way he looks is like it's so much cooler than Frieza. Like, so much cooler. Which hence the name Cooler. Maybe that's why his name's Cooler.
He is in fact cooler.
Yeah, literally and figuratively. But yeah, I mean, so the beginning of this is basically this mysterious guy shows up. He can go Super Saiyan. His name is Trunks. He kills Frieza in an instant. Everyone's like, what the hell's going on? He kills King Cold pretty quick. Just real cold-blooded is what he is.
Yeah.
He's cold-blooded. But with reasons, of course, because Goku is not there yet. Goku is on the way.
He's always on the way. Damn.
He's
perpetually on the way.
So I did like almost like a speed reading equivalent of streaming of kind of catching up with some tidbits. So the way that Goku managed to get off of planet Namek was so he was in Frieza's ship and he's falling into like, because again the planet's about to explode, so basically he's like about to fall into lava. But then he sees a pod, one of the Ginyu Force's pods. Falling alongside the ship. So then he jumps over to that and he just punches in like random coordinates and he's like, all right, hope for the best, fingers crossed. And it shoots him off to the planet where he learns instant transmission from that alien race. I forget their specific name, but
and this comes back around later, in the manga and Super, way later. So I kind of peek at stuff every once in a while without trying to fully spoil. Because I like watching it, but like I know the manga's out there and people are already talking about it. You see BuzzFeed articles about it and you're just like, oh, I guess that's spoiled for me. But like, yeah, this is it Yarbon or something like that? I forget. Like it sounds,
I mean, what? Just because.
Where does Goku learn instant transmission? But yeah, he learns it from these people, and it's a big deal. The instant transmission's a huge deal, like for this whole anime, I think. Plus,
absolutely.
Plus, we learn later and plus we learn later gods can't even do it. Like Whis has to try, like he's like the most powerful being in the universe, and he's like, all right, let's go travel for 10 minutes.
Yeah, which doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. How does this like race?
A whole race of people know how to do this thing that gods can't do. Like, okay, yeah.
Yardrat.
Yardrat. Ooh, I was close.
Yeah.
I think I said Yarbon, whatever.
Yeah. Which I think is a character, but whatever. There's so many characters. There's so many characters. Yardrat. So Goku does show up on because they fix the pod for him, and then he goes back to Earth, to catch up to Frieza, because I think he's aware that Frieza's actually heading to Earth. Yeah. But Trunks is there, and Trunks takes care of everything.
And we can just gloss over it, but I can't completely gloss over it. Vegeta's wearing a pink Badman shirt.
Pink
shirt.
Yes.
Says Badman
Yellow
on
pants.
the back of it.
Yellow pants.
Yellow pants.
Yep.
He's
very upset.
This is boning Bulma, but I have a feeling this outfit is what solidified it. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding me?
I wouldn't check the tape on it, but I'm just in my heart of hearts. That's what I believe. So.
Oh, I'm checking the tape. I want to see that tape. How does this Saiyan even like how does he do it with a normal? I feel like Chi-Chi and Bulma would just like rip in half, right? They would just.
It's the old Lois Lane Superman conversation.
If we're gonna have an adult conversation here about sex, like
the second Superman, climax is like Lois Lane's like her uterus is like gone, right? Like it's probably blown out of the back of her, so probably the same thing, because this is all a big Superman metaphor, right? Like Dragon Ball Z. So
absolutely. So logistically, I don't see how they. I don't know. I mean, whatever.
Apparently, we learn way later that Goku doesn't even know what kissing is. So maybe it's like an immaculate conception thing, or maybe like Chi-Chi stole his sperm in the middle of the night or something. I don't know.
Sure, but Goku's very dumb.
Let's get real though. Vegeta, he fucks though, right?
Absolutely, okay. absolutely. Like he's like she's gonna ask him to choke. Like she's gonna ask him to choke her, but he's already doing it. Like he's already choked.
Exactly. What's that meme? I don't know if you've seen this meme, but it's like, how badass is Bulma that she like low key neutered some guy who used to destroy planets for fun? Like how good is how good is her like pussy or whatever? It's like okay. All right, craft but true, craft.
Prince of all Saiyans, more like Prince of all bitches, am I right?
Yeah, well, man, maybe she's just bomb, you know what I mean? Maybe she's just euphoric experience.
Jumping ahead real quick, there's actually a super brief conversation where Goku and Vegeta basically are like, yeah, I mean, Bulma and Chi-Chi, they're basically kind of like Saiyan women, like they're real tough and they don't take shit. Like there's like an actual like kind of like I forget who they're saying it to, but they're saying it to someone, and it's like, oh, they're actually acknowledging. It's like, oh yeah, we're into these chicks because like they don't mess around. They don't tolerate
bitches, shit. Man. Yeah, and they are like Chi-Chi's kind of overbearing sometimes, but Bulma's always like, let's just do the thing, and I'm like, you're a human, and like a rich girl at that,
and super
she's
smart,
out there getting her hands dirty, and she's really cool. Like in like anytime you go into the future, even in Dragon Ball Z with like Trunks, like she's always a bad bitch in that. Like, hey, I'm a lone survivor. We're making it happen. We're saving folks.
Yep.
Good for them.
good for them. Well, speaking of future Bulma, she sends Trunks. So things get weird in this saga, because this is where like you almost sort of like, it's like a multiverse essentially, right? It's our first like introduction into like there being multiple universes. Now there are different timelines being established because Trunks has now messed with the timelines because he went back into the future.
There's a whole video game series about this where you're like part of the Time Patrol or whatever. What's that series called?
Oh,
but anyways, it's like it's kind of like an MMO almost, and like you can do like but it's like it's mostly a fighting game. It's very ridiculous, but yes, Trunks like destroyed the timeline and Marvel style created all these like splinter timelines and universes and stuff.
Yeah, basically to try to and we're I can't possibly give a detailed description, but I can kind of give a general description. I can do my best. So Goku dies at that from heart virus, and then the androids show up. Android 17 and 18. And basically the rest of the heroes have to fight them, but they can't beat them. So they basically all die except for Trunks and Gohan. So it's just them two in this future. And at one point, even Gohan like loses an arm, I believe. So he's just.
Have you seen that special? Was that one of the specials you've seen?
I think it's actually on Funimation. Yeah, it shows them like in the future.
Oh, it's in the. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's
I believe
the whole movie or the special episode or whatever is really good too. Yeah. Go into detail with all this stuff.
But yeah, so basically they all died, and basically the human race has just been pretty much almost totally wiped out by these androids. So Bulma builds a time machine. Trunks goes back in time. Here we are. He kills Frieza, King Cold. He's telling Goku all of this information. He's like, listen, like these guys are gonna come and they're gonna kill everybody. And you're gonna die from a heart virus. So here's some medicine. Conveniently, here's some medicine.
Which we'll get to that later. He's
yes. Yeah, the typical Goku's down for the count. We gotta bide time. Like
What happened? Oh, I forgot to take my medicine. Episode about it, Goku. Pay attention. Come on.
Yeah. Moron. Like, I mean, literally Piccolo had to be like eavesdropping in order for them to even know what's going on. Because
Goku would have killed everybody if Piccolo wasn't like paying attention. Absolutely. Like,
sure.
Go to me like, oh, I don't know. They said they'd be here someday. Like he wouldn't remember the date or anything. Like.
Oh, absolutely. So thanks to Piccolo, Gohan's real dad.
The true OG.
Yeah, the true Gohan dad. So basically, Piccolo kind of divulges to everyone, hey, like, here's what's going to happen in 3 years. These guys are showing up. We got to train. We got to prepare ourselves.
Is it 3 years?
Yes,
that right?
3 years. Yeah,
that's crazy.
3 years.
I forget about that. That's awesome.
Because again, like, they can't know about Trunks because again, future Trunks is going back.
Oh, that's right. Because and then they keep on wishing for stuff every year too, right? Like every year they're like, let's get the Dragon Balls together because now we're gonna wish for the Namekians to go back to get new Namek or whatever. I think they use the Dragon Balls like over the course of those 3 years.
That's already happened.
That happened from Frieza to okay.
Yeah, that's already happened because they're basically on their like new planet already.
Okay, I got you.
But yeah, so yeah, 3 years time they need to train, blah 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 blah. So skipping ahead a bit, comes the day for when the androids are going to show up, and they're in the city and they're trying to find them, but they can't sense them because, well, these androids, they don't emit like a power level because they're machines. So they're like, oh shit, like we don't know how to find these guys. They do end up finding them, or Yamcha ends up finding them. Great old Yamcha moment where Yamcha's here, Yamcha's dead.
This is a chilling.
Well, he doesn't die,
though.
but it's like Yamcha's here.
Let's call it. Yeah,
it's the meme.
He gets a whole fist through the chest, like all the way through, and you see it. And I remember this being one of the times watching this anime. I was like, that was really brutal.
Yeah. Well, he grabs him by the mouth. He's draining his energy, and he just like armed through the chest. Yeah, exactly.
And the whole lead up to this was pretty good. Like I remember like being a kid and being like, this is kind of spooky. Like I remember it being kind of like, wow, there's these like we haven't seen them yet, but they're like causing all this havoc. Well, now we realize they can drain people. He just impaled Yamcha, like it's I remember it being like, oh, the stakes they're getting high quick,
Yeah, exactly. Because again, literally they just got there. Yamcha pretty much almost dead in an instant.
Immediately.
But they basically all come in. They say they're seeing what's going on. They're like, oh shit, Goku's pissed. I forget who. I think Krillin takes Yamcha to go get a sensu bean.
Yeah.
Good old sensu beans.
Yep. Young Trunks is already born.
Yes, Trunks is already born. Yep, exactly. Little jokes here and there because Goku's like, oh look, it's Trunks, and she's like, wait, how did you know his name was? He's like, hi, lucky guess. It's like, okay.
Good job, Goku.
But Android. So these androids are not the androids from Trunks' future, though, and that's something that gets brought up later on when Trunks actually comes back. But this is android.
With 19 and 20, right?
Yes, exactly, 19 and 20. And they're built differently too. They're like energy absorbers as opposed to just like, I guess, like what, infinitely perpetuating
17
energy.
and 18, like the whole idea, even though we see them get tired throughout this whole series, the idea is they never get tired. They have an energy. But like there's multiple times where they're standing there going and it's like, okay, whatever,
they need to access additional energy inside them, like they even say, like, but which is funny then later on too, because then it's like wait a minute, because so spoiler alert, Krillin knocks up Android 18.
And
it's like, well, hold on, wait a minute, I thought these two were mechanical, and then later on you find out it's like they're not quite fully mechanical. They're still biological for the most part. Like they're still like flesh and but like I don't know, weird.
They had to do a last second lateral so they can give Krillin a girlfriend, which good for him, man.
Absolutely.
The guy's always pulling the girls in this show. So everyone's always bad talking Krillin, but that guy's the only one getting laid on that show. So
dude, side note, do you remember the character, the girlfriend that he ends up having, Marin?
Yeah.
Why does she look literally like Bulma? She's just straight up Bulma.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, I don't
like
know.
Her hair is like slightly less blue, but like it's basically just Bulma.
She's the one that she like turns into lunch, right? Like when she sneezes, is that Marin or is
that
somebody else?
That's a different character.
Yeah, who's the one that turns whatever?
I don't remember. I know who you're talking about, but
he's just got a slew of girls. But yes, no, Marin does kind of look like Bulma. It's kind of
literally just exactly.
You know why? I'll tell you. Animation cost save.
Sure.
Yeah, like we don't have to like change too much about this character cell. So
Toriyama is a lazy bastard. That's what it is.
Well.
But yeah, so these two show up, and it's like, all right, well, we got to fight them. So, so Goku's fighting 19, and he's doing all right, but he's like breathing heavy, And it's like Piccolo's like, what's going on here? Like, why is Goku like not just demolishing this dude?
His punches are slowing,
Yeah. Oh, you know why? The heart thing. That's why.
Oh, I forgot to take my medicine for 3 years.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, forgot to take his heart medication so he wouldn't die, and just have the entire human race just be eviscerated. So then, 19's roughing him up because Goku's just not. He can't keep up with him. The heart is failing him. So, luckily Vegeta shows up though, because Vegeta had not shown up until just now.
Top tier Vegeta moment right here. Like
yes,
top tier. Yeah,
he finally gets to have his like first moment of like being cocky, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, the first moment since, and I guess he had some moments in Frieza Saga where you're like, dude, this guy's getting stronger. But this is it. Like, you know, he's been super mad about not being a Super Saiyan. He's been, he's got a big chip on his shoulder about, Goku, a lower class Saiyan. Outmatching his royal blood or whatever. And he goes off and cries about it on an asteroid and then turns Super Saiyan or something. I forget. Do you remember the exact situation?
He flies the ship that he's been training on that Brees made him, with the gravity.
Which is the gravity, because he thinks that was the key. Goku's like, well, Goku said he was
training it's part of it, but...
A little bit. I mean, that's just good training in general. You know? But we find out later it's an emotional response. Like the Saiyan.
So basically, he's on that planet, and then like just this massive asteroid's coming towards him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm about to die." Like, so then he does blow it up, but like he gets roughed up in the process, and he's just like, "Yeah, I just stopped caring about needing to be Kakarot." He's like, in that moment, I just stopped giving a damn, and then he just erupts and he goes Super Saiyan. So so he gets to be a Super Saiyan. So here he is. He shows up. He gets to be the hero in the moment.
He kicks crap out of everybody.
He kicks Goku towards Piccolo, like kind of like instead of tossing him over to Goku to kind of go get his medicine, he like kicks him towards Piccolo. It's a really funny scene.
And then we get one of my favorite lines. Tell me, Android, do you feel fear? That's a good one, And then Android 19's like all freaking out about it. Which Android 19's a mime, and we guess we kind of glossed over that. What's with that? He's just a clown.
Aesthetically, he's a rotund fella. He's a bit hefty looking.
White face, and I mean that in like makeup, not like white face. But like,
he's white faced.
He's white faced,
and he sounds robotic. Like his voice has like a robotic tone to it.
It's like weird, high pitched robotic.
But so again, important fact is him and Android 20 can absorb energy through these little sort of like circular things on their hands, so they have to actually touch you. So he goes to grab Vegeta to drain his energy, and he's like, I'm not gonna let go. And Vegeta's like, word? All right. So he jumps up on his face while the android's holding onto his arms, and he's doing a stretch. He's doing a nice stretch, and eventually just rips the arms right off of Android 19.
Good stuff.
And Android 19 is just, at this point, he runs out of the hole in the ground that they're in, and he's just running and Frieza just blasts him. So kills him.
It's good.
Not even no sweat.
It's good stuff. This whole art, I actually like. I think the Cell Saga is pretty perfect, to be honest. So like this whole
it's perfect.
Lead up,
like
the whole. It really, it literally is. Like this whole lead up is really cool. Like, oh man, they're kicking the crap out of these androids, and then as we're about to find out, like Trunks shows up and it's like, those aren't them.
Yeah. Because again, things have changed because he showed up. I guess that's sort of the gist of like what I was reading was like ripples sort of happened because of two events. Trunks going back in time. And changing things, like again giving Goku medication to help with the virus and just warning them in general, and then Cell at one point when he shows up, that also sends the ripples through time.
And he also creates like 2 more timelines too. So
yeah.
It's a little bit of a mess.
Yeah,
it gets messy. I'm not gonna lie. The time travel stuff gets a little messy, but it always does.
Yeah, no, it absolutely does. And I mean, it's like people get so hung up about the details of it. It's like, it's fictional. Like, as far as we know, literally in real life, time travel is not possible. So just like, it's a thing that's fictional.
Sure. Well, and most things problems is that they try and explain it. Just don't. The less the better. Like, just let us do that. Like where we're
Sure.
like, I don't know, like you know, and Dragon Ball Z never stops and like busts out like a graph and it's like, well, this is what's like MCU does, you know.
Sure.
So like I actually applaud them for that. They're just like time travel just exists and like it works how we need it to whenever we need it to work the way that it needs to. You know,
couple
like,
timelines were created and yeah, it sucks.
Bing bang boom. Yeah.
But yeah, Trunks comes back and he sees what is it, Android 19, his head or remnants of him or something. I forget what it was. And he's like, wait a second, what the hell is this? Like, what's going on? Like, so then he meets up with the crew and kind of like, you know, conversations are happening and they're chasing after Android 20 because Android 20 is like, oh shit, I can't actually beat Vegeta. Like the information I had on Vegeta is not accurate. Like I can't beat this guy. So he bolts and they're all chasing him down. And you find out through Bulma that Android 20 is in fact Dr. Gero.
No way, of Red Ribbon Army fame? That's crazy.
Whoa, Dragon Ball callback.
Yeah, and this is such a Dragon Ball Z and Super thing to do, is be like, you know what? We're going to reach way back into our past, and we're going to pluck one of those people out, you know, which I love. I think it always works for me, so. It's
very important, too, because literally the crux of the whole thing is that Dr. Gero is seeking revenge on Goku. So that's why he really even creates...
Yeah, you screwed up a lot of stuff, you know, for me.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah, he creates this whole thing starts because he's just angry at Goku.
And we know all 20 androids, by the way, at this point have been across Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Like, we know what every android is. Like Goku has fought and destroyed every single one of them. So
has he?
Yeah.
Okay.
So all throughout Dragon Ball, like Gero's constantly sending new androids at him, and they're all numbered. And so like we naturally got to this number throughout the series. It's not just a random number that Akira Toriyama chose. And
it's interesting too, because at one point when Gero's giving, I forget who he's actually telling, but basically there's like this small little insect robot that's been flying around the entire time. Yeah. Surveying them and observing them and gathering information. I mean, it's dumb, but like it's like, all right, so yeah.
No, the idea is cool, but the vessel is not. It's like it's this little bug that it's like, okay, sure, I guess, you know.
But it's like, yeah, you got the information you needed. They couldn't see a tiny fly robot, like.
But it didn't follow them the Namek, right?
Right, exactly.
And that's why the data's all off, because like everyone came back 20 times stronger, and he's like, what the
Yeah, he said that he compensated for that, but clearly it's like you don't understand what Super Saiyan is, because it's like, well, even the Saiyans thought it was a myth, so.
Sure.
But yeah, we get to the point where Gero, Android 20, gets to his lair, because he's basically going to go activate the actual androids that Trunk was talking about. 17 and 18. So he does get there. The crew does catch up with them. He does activate them. There's some conversations that he's having with them inside the lair while they're outside of the lair trying to be like, we got to break in there. They kill Dr. Gero.
Yeah, and then we get our second best quote in the entire show is Vegeta goes, "This is what you were afraid of, a boy in a scarf," you know. and Trunks just goes, "Yep."
yeah. He's like, "Yeah, I told you to not." Yeah,
a little girl and a boy in a scarf or something like that. Such a good line. Yeah.
Vegeta is just so because he's gone Super Saiyan.
Cocky, dude.
He's so cocky.
And he beat this unbeatable android that some guy from the future came and was hyping up really big, and he's just like, yeah, whatever, you know.
Yeah, he's like, wrong android, dad. Like,
boy, yeah.
But yeah, androids 17 just myrtleizes Dr. Gero, and they activate android 16 as well.
One of my favorite characters in the whole anime.
Super cool. They activate that android as well. So, and he kept telling him, like, don't activate him. I haven't finished my programming and yada, yada. He's built a little differently too. He's definitely a bit more robotic than 17 and 18. Very quiet, a very stoic android.
Yeah, cool design too. Really like his weirdly green outfit and his orange mohawk. Very cool. I like the whole design of him.
Yes. But then we get to the point where Vegeta's gonna fight the android. Specifically, he's fighting 18 because 17 and 16 are just off to the side, and 17's just like, yeah, I'm not gonna butt in. It's fine, whatever. 18 can take care of this. So and yeah, Vegeta, once again, his pride is hurt once again. Because he cannot beat Android 18.
Boy, he gets his arm broke real bad. Like this fight, he gets brutalized, and it's really something. I really like this fight a lot, and it's on the side of like a mountain, like on a road, like it's just like a really cool scenery and stuff like that. Like I really like this fight a lot.
There's like an 18-wheeler that like just abrupt stops like behind them, and they like blow it up. Like it's just chaos. Like no one gives a damn what's going on.
And the entire time, Trunks is just like, you guys have no idea what you're up against.
I keep telling you.
Vegeta's like, I got this.
We need to wait for Goku. And Vegeta's like, no.
Right. Yeah. But does Piccolo duck out here? Is he like, I gotta go?
No, so because they all basically are off. They're off all on the side watching Vegeta. Because Vegeta's like, you guys sit this one out. I got it.
Oh,
like,
it's after the fight that Piccolo bails. He's like, okay.
Well, so they all dive. They all sort of jump in to save to help because Trunks jumps in first. To help Vegeta. Obviously, he can't really help.
Okay.
And then the rest of them all kind of try to jump in, except for Krillin. But they all try to jump in and help, and they all get just like their asses kicked.
Yeah.
And they're all just lying there on the ground, basically. No one's dead, but they're just all just roughed up. Except for Krillin, because Krillin's just too scared. And then we have sort of the moment where the androids are like next to Krillin, and they're like, well, we got to do our mission. Even though, like, well, you killed Jiro, so why do you actually care about following your mission?
It's kind of weird, yeah.
Their mission is
I think they just want to fight, you know? But yes, their mission is to kill Goku, but yeah, they just want to fight.
But they want to make a game of it. So this is sort of like the plot device of like, hey, let's bide time for some other events to happen. Because basically, Android 17's like, let's find a truck and we'll drive to Goku. Road trip.
Fly there.
Yeah, he doesn't want to fly.
All
right. And Android 18 gives Krillin a smooch on the cheek, which starts the whole like Krillin being into 18.
He simps for her really hard, really quickly. Yeah.
Yes.
He's like, I'm all in.
It doesn't help that she gives him a nice little sweet kiss.
He Ted Moseys her as she's walking off. He's like, I love you. It's good stuff.
So they go on their road trip to go look for Goku. Vegeta's very upset. His pride is once again taken down a notch. Forget what happens after that, though. I was actually going to pull
This is not where Piccolo goes, like, I got to go talk to Kami.
Yeah, so that does happen.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was after this.
I was just trying to remember
because everyone goes their like separate ways in a way. Like Krillin goes to like be by Goku's side, I think. Like Trunks and Vegeta, I forget where they go, to be honest.
Trunks and Vegeta. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah. So basically, this pretty close to this part because then it's the next season.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it is? They're flying along, and then they find out. This is where we find out that there's another time machine off somewhere.
Yes, thank you. Trunks goes.
And there's like debris all over it and everything.
Yep.
And I forget like how they stumble across it, but basically there's a conversation that Bulma's having.
Bulma like sees it. She's like, "Hey, I got a reading, and it kind of reads like your time machine. You might want to go check it out." And he goes over there, and it looked like it had been there for years.
Yep, it's got like debris and vines all over it. It's got a hole. Like that looks like something sort of like acid kind of like burned a hole through the glass to climb out of it. Yeah, from the inside out. And then pretty soon after that, we finally confront or come into contact, or Piccolo comes into contact with Cell.
Which is very cool. Like you start
very
hearing
creepy.
About like, hey, a whole city's just like the whole population's dead. You know, I think
and
that's how you get
clothes everywhere.
There's just clothes everywhere, and then like they cut to like a news broadcast, like another city's being attacked, and like you see like all these people being sucked dry and stuff like it's really eerie.
It's so gross. Like when it shows.
Oh yeah, because they putty down. Yeah.
And really their flesh is just all. It's so gross. Like when it actually shows it. But yeah, Cell's just going around absorbing people because he needs the nourishment because.
And I think Kami and Piccolo are trying to decide if they want to like become one right now. But he's like, wait, I feel something. Or have they already merged? Like I'm having my timelines all screwed up right now tonight.
I believe that they did merge already.
So and that's how maybe he felt like.
I'm actually on Funimation, I'm on Funimation, like looking at the episodes.
Good job, yeah. Keep us in line here, yeah.
Yeah, I like to have the things in sequence. I mean, again, if we forget something, it's fine.
It's gonna happen. Yeah, every detail can't be covered.
Yeah, but that is an important thing. Is basically Piccolo and Kami becoming one again, and that's actually what they were when they came onto the planet, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that the whole lore with that? Is that they actually split off into two?
That's right.
And that's what created was it King Piccolo from Dragon Ball? Is it King Piccolo? Who Goku did fight, and then he I remember all these little snippets. What is he spits out an egg or whatever?
He spits out an egg, yeah.
And that's the Piccolo that we know now.
And King, yeah, and that is the King. That's the Piccolo we know now. But he has all the memories of his father.
Yeah.
He's basically a clone of him, but he has sentience. So he's like, oh, I don't want to be a dirtbag, I guess, but.
Yeah.
I want to raise some dude's kid. But that's a big moment because for the first time in a long time, maybe since Nail or whatever, it's like, oh, Piccolo's on top now. Vegeta's got a huge moment, and now Piccolo's basically God. He just quadruples in power. But I think the Dragon Balls go away, right? So they have to start figuring out how to get new Dragon Balls. So they have to.
Yeah.
I forget when they hired Dende to come back.
When they hired Dende.
Yeah, come on. We're going to interview you. Dende, you did great. We want you to be our new god. Come on over here and make Dragon Balls for us.
Well, that's basically when Goku's feeling better and he instant transitions over to the new.
That's right. That he goes and asks
planet.
him. Yes, that's a little further. But right now we're living in a world with no Dragon Balls.
Yeah.
I think I think that was the hesitation from Kami. It's like, well, if we do this, it's over for the Dragon Balls, so you have to be sure that it's going to be enough. And Piccolo's like, yeah, trust me, I fused with Nail. I know how powerful this can be. Let's do this.
So now he's got two people inside of him.
Yeah,
deep inside of him.
Again, whenever you get to Dragon Ball Z Abridged, they call back on this often. Where Nail and Kami are constantly talking Piccolo.
Oh,
he's like,
really?
You guys shut up!
I kind of wish they did that, in the show, just arguing with three of them arguing, that would have been pretty excellent. I would have liked that. That did not happen though. But yeah, so Piccolo's the first one to come in contact with Cell. He does get caught off guard. Cell does get him in the arm and drains his arm, so then he's got kind of the limp arm, with just nothing inside of him.
Super gross, by the way.
It's very gross.
Yeah, really not into that.
So while basically Piccolo is trying to buy time to be able to regenerate his arm, so this is the whole full episode where it's just lore dump. And this is where we find out that Cell, from a separate timeline, has killed Trunks. He snuck up behind Trunks. He killed him, took the time machine. The coordinates were already plugged in to come to that time, to the time that, of the show that we're watching now. So that's why he's just happened to be, it's basically just a coincidence, but it's a bad coincidence for the Z crew.
But he was a major secret super backup for another Dr. Gero plan, right?
Yeah, he was a fully biological, android, that he was piecing together with the cells of all of the fighters,
which
Goku,
is just
Piccolo.
Such a great idea. Such a when he starts busting out people's moves and just knows how they fight because he's built from the cells of all the greatest warriors. I'm like, oh, they really thought about this one.
Yeah,
because that's just really cool bad guy idea.
Even Frieza, because Frieza is pretty recent, but they actually got some cells from Frieza as well. So yeah, that's why he's called Cell. He's got all of these cells all up inside him. He's just a combination of all the best fighters, which is terrifying. And again, he explains how he came back from that different timeline, killed Trunks, yada yada. But then again, Piccolo was buying time, so he gets his arm back. I forget if I think he maybe tries to fight Cell, and Cell just manages to get away.
He was kicking Cell's ass pretty good. And Cell was like, I got to get out of here.
Cell's got to get out of there because then
does he divulge the plan to take on the androids at this point? Is that
he told Piccolo that he needs to absorb 17 and 18 to become
classic bad guy
complete. Yes.
Let me tell you exactly what I need.
Exactly.
And Piccolo's like, okay, I'm gonna not let you do that.
Yeah. Well, it's the typical, like, well, I think I'm definitely going to kill you, so I'm just going to tell you my plan because yada yada. It's like, well, you're an idiot, so.
Yeah. I just sucked off 10,000 people from 2 different towns. I'm really powerful. And Piccolo's like, no, you're not.
That's what she said, Kyle. But yeah, we basically then have like this whole few episodes of just Cell just running amok and just like he kills like a whole football team. There's like an airport. There's like an airport scene where like that woman and the kid are like hiding, and he like it's actually like kind of like straight up horror.
It is a lot of this imperfect Cell saga or whatever is very horror. It's very horror based.
Yeah. So, but then we eventually do get to the point where, what is it? Somehow Piccolo comes into contact with the other androids. I think maybe to warn them. I forget sort of the sequence of events, but
so I think
Piccolo
that
is fighting 17.
I think he realizes that he's super close to Goku, and Piccolo shows up right as they do. And he's like, before you fight Goku, like, because like Goku's in bed sick still. He's like, let's go off, let's fight. Like, you and I should fight, you know. And 17's like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
And this kicks off one of my favorite fights in the entire series.
Because Piccolo's actually like holding his own with 17.
This is a preem fight, man. He does that Hell Zone grenades move where there's like 100 balls in the air that he just like rushes them all at the same time. It's like there are so many moments in this fight that are awesome, and Piccolo is like grooving, dude. Like he's really like this is the best he ever looks like in a fight ever, and then he gets benched forever. Literally forever.
He's an old man. He's an old man.
Whatever. So is everybody else in the show, and everyone gets their moment still. And he's just like, I'm literally God, but I guess no one gives a shit about me.
Yeah, so. I don't know.
This show's about the Saiyans now.
Absolutely.
Which is fine.
But
this fight's amazing. I really like this fight. Again, 16 and 18 are off to the side doing nothing. It's a one-on-one fight.
Very typical Dragon Ball. You know, people watching because they don't want to. You know, they don't want to interfere and have fights be like, oh, sure, we need to overpower you to win. It's like, nah, it's just one-on-one. It's
a lot of voyeurism fighting in this.
Yes, yeah, exactly. But basically, eventually, Cell finds out where they are, and Cell shows up, and well, he manages to absorb 17 at some point. 16 does fight imperfect Cell. But Cell just manages to get his tail around 7. The way he absorbs the androids too is super gross because it's like because it's like a needle right at the end of his tail. But then when he absorbs the androids, it like opens up like a tube, and it's his tail. It's at the end of his tail. It's super freaking gross.
Yeah, it's not great.
And it just shows him, you know, just kind of absorbing the body, and now we have second form Cell, who's a beefier fella.
The dumbest looking character in the entire series, in my opinion. Just one of the worst forms ever. And you know what? You want to hear something funny? Like, this is Akira Toriyama's favorite creation he's ever made.
Is it really?
It's his absolute favorite, yeah. And I'm like,
I mean, I don't hate it,
freaking weirdo. He's got weird lips and like his whole design because like Perfect looks so cool. And I got to be honest, I like Imperfect the best. I think his insectoid, like weird. Because it's very Cronenberg-y. Like, he does a lot of weird Cronenberg-y stuff, you know, like with like his body horror stuff. And I think that like him being monstrous looking like really worked for that. Perfect Cell just looks cool. I don't know what about Perfect Cell like works for me. It just looks like, I don't know. It just looks cool to me.
He just looks like somebody who's like has all the confidence in the world. And he's just like, I'm fucking perfect, man.
Yeah,
like, he's just he's got swagger. Like he's just
big
like
time. He's got a lot of BDE, big dick energy for sure. So,
exactly. But we get to the second form, which apparently Kyle hates.
It looks stupid, man. Let's get real.
But to be honest, it also doesn't last very long.
It doesn't.
Because basically we have this moment where it's like it's almost a whole episode of Tien doing his little like tri-beam cannon thing.
Dude, Tien showing up and wrecking for a little while, which he does later in the Buu Saga too, is my favorite Dragon Ball Z like reoccurring like event where he's just like, dude, I'm just some guy. But every once in a while, I'm going to show up. I'm really going to hold my own. And then I'm going to die, you know? And like, I love it every time. Like Tien's one of my favorite characters in all the fighting games. He's my main character. Like I like his fighting style. I like that tri-beam cannon. I think is awesome. Cause he snipes in on them.
Yeah,
like it's like magnified like in his hand, which is so stupid. When he looks through it, but
it's
yeah,
simple,
I
but
love
it's
this
cool.
part. And he's holding there. The only reason he can't hold there anymore, he just kind of runs out of energy, you know?
Yeah, he's like
and 18's
exhausted.
like running around screaming like a crazy person.
Yeah.
But this is when 16 comes in, right? This is...
Well, 16 had already come in prior, but so...
Or did we skip that? Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, he was fighting Imperfect Cell. I just don't remember.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, no, that big fight between them was imperfect. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just don't remember what moment triggers Cell being able to have the opening to absorb 17. But obviously, it does happen.
Him and 16 are fighting, and they're absorbed into that, and then like he kind of just like sneaks up and like, I think like Punk sucks off 17.
Yeah, probably.
But no, and then we get the big 16. Like he likes to take off his hands and like.
Oh, dude. Yeah, the cannons.
He's got so many cool moves, man.
Yeah, it's so cool. Awesome, man. So cool. He's like, I'm going to hold my own hands under my arms and then just blast you in the face. Like,
when he starts fighting, like, he's just, like, beating the shit out of Cell. Like, it is, like, no contest, and it's awesome.
But against second form Cell, he cannot do as well.
Can't hang.
I'm pretty sure he actually gets damaged pretty bad there with second form Cell, though. But what we actually forgot to mention, and I just actually completely had forgotten until I'm seeing the little screenshots here. Hyperbolic time chamber, Kyle.
This is my favorite plot device MacGuffin, like, and all. Like, we're gonna live a year in a day.
Yep.
But like, you're gonna have the memories and the physical, like, trials of a year, and it's like, yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And I like how they're like, well, you only can go in one time, and later they're like, yeah, you can go in again. You know?
Yeah. Well, I think it's more kind of like because it takes such a toll on the body. Yeah. But maybe like they get to a point where it's like, well, their body.
That's how they explain it, but it's like, okay, whatever.
But yeah, hyperbolic time chamber,
the
basically.
coolest thing ever. And Trunks and Vegeta go in first, right? Because like they leave and they're like, we're gonna go fight Cell, and Goku's like, don't wait.
Yeah. Which is fine because then we have the cool moments later with Goku and Gohan in the hyperbolic time chamber where
some great moments with that. Yeah,
Goku's
training his son for the first time ever.
yeah. He's actually being a dad. But yeah, so Vegeta, future Trunks, they come out of the chamber, they go and they find Cell, and they're pretty much kicking second form Cell's ass.
It's crazy, and Vegeta pulls out an amazing Final Flash that just
oh my god! So this is the first time Final Flash is shown, actually.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. His move up until now has been Big Bang Attack and Galaxy, which he keeps both. But like, yeah,
Final Flash is like for me like probably like second favorite like beam attack in like Dragon Ball.
What's your first?
I mean, the Kamehameha is just a classic.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But it's I also do like the special beam cannon because it just looks cool with the swirly thing around it.
The three of those are top three for me for sure.
Yeah.
But I think Final Flash is just it's the greatest.
It's the way that
ever.
They animate it because it's like he fires it at Cell and then it shows like if it pans away from Earth and it shows it like ricocheting off of the planet and kind of skimming off of it.
Final Flash. Oh shit!
It's like it just looks so cool.
I love those shots every time. Anytime you want to zoom out to Earth and being like, this is how much craziness is going on there. And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah. It just looks so cool. But yeah, they basically Vegeta is kicking his ass. And we also get the introduction of like, what is it? Like Super Saiyan 1.5. It's almost like this in between like beefy like stage.
Yeah, I could get in the weeds with you on this one. It's called Ultra Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
It's a total. I don't even think they say that word in the anime ever. I think they may say it in the manga, but I know it's.
I think he says Ascended Super Saiyan or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. I think it's more of a coin term from fandoms online and stuff like that. But like that's what most people call it as Ultra, and it's like the big buff. Like I'm super buff, and it's in between 1 and 2. Like 2 is breached by Gohan for the very first time. Like that's when we see 2 for the first time.
But Trunks is aware of the fact that you get like way stronger, but you're like also much slower. So there's that whole thing where there's like they discuss the trade-off of like you get beefier and you get stronger, but you're much slower. But I think that's after Cell gets his way. Basically, Cell tricks dumb old Vegeta because Vegeta in his pride, he's got to fight Cell at his strongest, right? Like, oh, I got to be the most powerful Saiyan. I got to show my true power. So he goes and basically allows Cell to absorb 18.
Which is crazy, yeah.
And in between all that, you have like Krillin contemplating blowing up 18 because he's got that little device that Bulma made or whatever.
Yep.
But he just can't do it. So like because of Krillin and Vegeta, 18 gets absorbed.
Good job.
And good job. Congrats.
Yeah, you did.
So then we got Big Dick Energy, Perfect Cell. Perfect Cell. He is so unbelievably perfect.
And the very first thing he wants to do is he goes, you know what? I want to make a tournament. Okay.
Yeah. Well, he does kick Vegeta and Trunks' ass. He
does. Yeah. Well, he like almost kills Vegeta, right? Like he busts them up pretty good.
He roughs them both up real bad.
But then future Trunks goes Ultra Super Saiyan, right? Is that when that happens for him, where he gets really buffed too?
So Trunks he does buff up. I think Trunks is actually even like slightly stronger than Vegeta.
He is. Well, because he even says that like I hid it from my father because I knew it crush him pretty much.
Right,
and I'm like,
right,
dude.
yeah. Suck it, Dad.
Suck it, Dad. Exactly.
But yeah, they eat, both of them can't beat Perfect Cell. So
no.
But then going back to what we mentioned earlier with the hyperbolic time chamber, Goku and Gohan have been training this whole time while Vegeta and Trunks have been fighting Cell, and we just have some nice moments, some nice exchanges between Goku and Gohan, and just good father-son moments, but also just seeing Gohan like go Super Saiyan for the first time. Actually, he goes Super Saiyan for the first time in the hyperbolic.
Like, Goku's actually explaining what's going on. Finally.
Yeah. So I mean, Gohan goes through 2 transformations pretty quick.
He does, yeah. And now we kind of know that like his ability to get really mad and like lash out really quickly was like him almost going Super Saiyan. You know what I mean? Like
yes.
It was those precipice of emotional moments that were pushing him there, and like so these were kind of like the seeds that were being sown. Like
the culmination, right?
Yeah, it's a culmination. Dan,
culmination of all of that hostility, that Saiyan hostility.
Yeah.
Inside of Gohan, well, he's half Saiyan, but still, he's obvious. He goes Super Saiyan 2 before any of the actual pure-blooded Saiyans. So
the Super Saiyan and humans, like for whatever, or Saiyans and humans end up making strong. Because like like Goten goes Super Saiyan at like 4 or something. Yeah, because a rock gets thrown at him. I forget what like the reason was.
He just I think just from training. I think training with Chi-Chi it was actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like you said, Cell is like, you know what? Let's have some fun, guys. I'm gonna make a tournament. And basically buy some time, allow some time to pass because he is told that Goku is like off somewhere training or doing whatever, basically to wait for Goku. He wants to fight Goku.
Mm-hmm.
And Goku even like instant transmissions to the sort of makeshift tournament, whatever you call it.
With Cell, yeah.
I actually like how Cell like actually makes the pieces and it shows all the giant blocks just kind of shoot, like falling into the ground. He makes the actual what the hell am I trying to say? The actual like flooring,
the arena.
The arena. Thank you, Jesus. The word arena was escaping me. Oh, and then we the dude with the ponytail shows up. You have that little like sort of side mission there.
Oh, that's nutty. I can't believe that. Like you could tell that like they were like, oh, Akira hasn't made any new mangas yet, so we have to like buy a couple weeks. And they're like, okay, well, bring Tao Pai Pai back. And they're like, who?
Who? And he's got like this like night vision goggle thing going on.
Yeah, and like they're like Goku tells Gohan, since being a Saiyan drains you, I'm requiring you to be a Saiyan forever, pretty much. Like you can never not be a Saiyan. So like Gohan's walking around like as a blonde kid, like solving crimes and stuff, and it's really dumb. All this is super dumb. How are you gonna put filler in the middle of like a third act of a series or whatever, or a saga? I think it's so weird to me.
I know. But yeah, eventually they do, and we also have the introduction of Hercule. So first time we're meeting Hercule.
The greatest character in all of Dragon Ball.
Sure, yeah.
Say. He's so good.
Absolutely.
He's like Hulk Hogan. And but like a total like dweeb, man. Like, and I love how he just he becomes famous for like beating Cell, world renowned. Like, it's just like everything about like him is so ridiculous.
Just taking all of the credit because
I've always loved this character. It's so stupid.
Because the people of Earth are like they revere him. They're like, yeah, he's like the super like strong martial art master guy. Like,
he's been winning all the tournaments in Goku's absence of being in.
Yes, exactly.
So he's a good fighter. He's just good at fighting like humans,
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
We can sort of go through the actual Cell games pretty quick. Because it is predominantly like, so Goku fights Cell. And he's doing good for a while. But then eventually gets to the point where he's like, yeah, I can't beat Cell. I'm not strong enough.
And like really nonchalant. He's like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
I can't win,
And he puts the fate of Earth on his son.
His 12-year-old boy.
his little boy. He's like, go on, you got this. Go on ahead. And
like, Piccolo's really skeptical. He's like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's like, dude, do I have to step in and be the real dad again? Like, what's going on?
What are you doing to my son? I mean, go on. Yeah.
What are you doing to my son? But yeah, Gohan's in there. He's fighting Cell. I think he does get roughed up for sure, because I mean he gets
his ass kicked until 16 dies. Like he just is getting his ass kicked the entire time. Maybe every once in a while he'll like show a tactic and everyone's like, oh
yeah,
and then he'll just like get kicked around a little bit again.
But 16 does jump in. 16 gets wrecked real bad.
I'm gonna blow him up with my atomic bomb, and everyone goes, about that, we took that out, and he's like, what?
Yeah, I forgot about that. He's like, oh shit. Yep.
And he gets blown up, but he's the one who talks Gohan. He's like, dude, Gohan, you gotta buckle up, buddy. Like figure it out, and dies.
It's just his head on the ground talking to him, I believe.
Yeah, and then like Cell steps on his head. Steps on.
Yep. And that moment,
mid pump up, and then Gohan just loses it.
Yeah,
and it's awesome. This whole moment's awesome.
Yeah.
But also, didn't Cell poop out some kids by this point too?
He did. Little Cell junior cells. Sure. So that's kind of going on. I think that's like right when Gohan goes Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah, because they're like kicking the asses of the Z Warriors, while Gohan is like, having a pep talk with 16.
Yeah. But yeah, basically it's Gohan's gone Super Saiyan 2. He's holding his own and actually has an advantage against Cell. And Cell starts to realize that. It gets to the point where Cell's like, oh shit, like, is this kid really gonna beat me? Like, what's going on?
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, they blew up the ring a long time ago.
Yeah.
Stop playing by those. There was a lot of hard rules at the beginning of the Cell game. Yeah. So I was like, I'm done with this. It's the dumbest setup ever. Like, I like the Cell games a lot, like the whole point, but like they abandoned the whole concept of it so quick. Because they're like, oh, we got to get to the big beam battle. So I'm like, okay, I'm okay with that trade-in. That's fine.
Yes, absolutely. Dude, rewatching that, oh my god. Like, goosebumps, Kyle. Goosebumps.
There's some big moments, man.
But before that happens, so Cell basically starts to balloon up, and he's going to blow up the Earth. Cell's like, F you guys, like, I'm not,
he gets punched in the gut and regurgitates up one of the androids, right? I think it was 18.
Yes.
And that's how he's like, well, I'm screwed, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna suicide bomb.
Yeah, because he reverts back to second form.
Yep. Everyone's favorite second form.
Yes. Everyone's favorite. So yeah, he balloons up and he's gonna blow up the Earth. And then we have the noble sacrifice. Goku sacrificing his life for the Earth, for everyone. He instant transmissions Cell onto, and I don't know why did it have to be?
This is the biggest dick move in the entire world.
Why did it have to
be? Hey, Sensei, here's a bomb.
Yeah. King Kai's planet. Why did it have to be King Kai's planet? I don't understand. He couldn't think of anywhere else.
Are you gonna take it to Yarbon or whatever? Blow up that
Yardrat. Hey, sorry guys, you showed me that.
Sorry,
really cool
dudes. Yeah.
No, yeah, King Kai's playing it. He just shows up with this guy's about to blow up, and King Kai and his little companions there are like, what the fuck's going on? And yeah, just boom, kaboom. They're all dead. Cell's dead, Goku's dead, King Kai's dead.
Bubbles
is dead.
Cricket is dead.
They're all dead, and everything is fine, except it's not, Kyle. Everything is not fine.
Never is.
So Cell comes back. He blasts Gohan. No, I forget if he actually does like straight up kill Trunks or Trunks is near death, but he blasts.
I don't know if it's ever clarified, but it's near death. Like he's not. Yeah. I think there's like someone's like he's not breathing or something. But
yeah,
like,
he very sneakily blasts Trunks. So Trunks is just down on the ground, and
he's been benched at this point for so long. Who cares?
Yeah,
it's like whatever.
And Gohan gets a blast in the arm, so then his arm is like kind of unusable.
But he's back as Perfect Cell, and they don't even try and explain it. They're like, he's like, no, yeah,
they do.
Well, my cells like it was like my cells remember what.
Yeah, the cells have absorbed the information and the energy.
So that's called not having a reason and just making up something. Just FYI. And yeah, I just remember being some bullshit Deus Ex Machina device where it's like, well, I'm back, and because.
Yeah, I'm back as Perfect Cell because, well, Perfect Cell. So
because this will work better if it's this way. Okay.
And then we have the climactic finish of this saga with Gohan and Cell doing these massive blasts at each other, and there's like this massive orb in the middle that's just going back and forth. And Goku is telepathically through King Kai talking to Gohan. He's trying to be like, Gohan, like, you got to let go. Like, stop not believing in your... It's such a good moment too. And like Gohan's like, I don't know. And he gets some momentum, but then, Cell gets some momentum again. And then the Z fighters come in from behind Cell and they're like blasting Cell, but Cell's like sort of like pushing them back literally with just pure energy. Like he's just pushing them away. And then you have the main moment, which is Vegeta doing a blast that was actually enough to kind of like throw Cell off. And that's the moment when Gohan finally unleashes the full force and just disintegrates. So
you see the full blown what they dub the father son Kamehameha with like Goku standing behind Gohan, like both in the Kamehameha position. It's fucking awesome, man.
Dude, goosebumps. It was actually great, today. Yeah. It was today. I was watching it and just still goosebumps, Kyle.
Yeah.
Still goosebumps.
Release it, Gohan. Release everything. Remember all the pain he's caused, the people he's hurt. Now make that your power! Say goodbye! Vegeta! Now's your chance!
Amazing moment. So Cell is finally dead. He is gone. The Earth is saved. They're gonna wish Goku back, but Goku tells them all, "Nah, don't wish me back.
Yeah,
I'm good."
The shittiest dad ever, right? I think I'm just gonna stay dead, guys. They're like, but we want you back. We miss you, Dad. He's like, nah,
He has a reason, though. He has a reason. He says that it seems like all these guys show up always looking for Goku, always looking for him. So he's like, well, if I'm not there, then no one's going to be looking for me to try to kill all of you guys.
Sure, yeah.
So that's what he says. That's his reason.
Well, remember, he wasn't there last time Frieza showed up, and the only reason that it wasn't destroyed is because someone from the future decided to show up. So it's like, your logic's pretty flawed, but I get it, yeah.
And then you have like a little moment too. I forget, Krillin. Maybe this is when Krillin wishes her to be human, but then like later on, I forget. He something happens with Krillin, the Dragon Balls, and 18.
He wishes both 17 and 18. I know it's not to be fully human because they're both androids.
Oh, it's the self-destruct thing, I think.
Yeah, take the self-destruct out, but they're human enough to have kids, or at least 18. Yeah. And he's like, I love you, or whatever, and they bang later or something.
Yes, they do bang later. And then that season ends with Future Trunks going back to his timeline and kicking ass. He kills Cell.
Kills Cell, kills the 17 and 18 easily, like just moiters them.
Yes.
It's super cool. Yeah, it's a cool moment.
It is. Absolutely. So that's the conclusion of the Cell saga. It's a very fun saga. There's a lot going on in this saga. Again, with timelines and Super Saiyan 2 for the first time.
We're getting some, a lot of orbital shots of huge beams. This was the saga for that. They would always pan out and be like, "Look how crazy it is down there," and it's like, it's pretty crazy. Yeah,
it's really good. It's a very good saga.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's one of my favorite. It's hard. I mean, they're all so good, but like I think Frieza and Cell are my top two. Even though I really like the Saiyan saga. You know what? Don't make me do this. I can't rank it right now. I just know Boo is last, even though I really like Boo a lot. It's just my favorite saga.
Kyle, after having rewatched the whole thing recently, the Boo saga is my favorite saga now.
The Boo saga is awesome. So like when I say like it's my least favorite, like I don't mean that in like because it sucks. Like I mean that in the other three are so hype. Boo saga is so long.
It is.
And and so much nonsense happens. Like Fat Boo is a good guy, he's a bad guy, he's absorbed, he's not absorbed. There's a pink Boo, there's a brown Boo, a gray Boo, there's a kid Boo. Like it's just like, oh boy, like
we'll go over the forms for sure.
It's too much. Yeah.
It's actually like when you break in on Funimation, when you break it down, it's actually the same amount of seasons as the Cell saga. So.
And I believe that, but like. And there's also like sub seasons or whatever in that as well.
You have like the Saiyaman thing in the beginning.
Feels like there's an android arc. You have the android saga within the Cell saga, and then the Cell saga begins, and then the Cell games begin. And I feel like 3 distinct arcs. Whereas like the Boo saga is like the tournament, and then there's Boo.
Sure.
Or you could really break it down as like the tournament, and then
the Majin stuff. Yeah,
which is the Majin stuff, and then Boo. I guess you could argue that a little bit, but like a lot of it is just like it's Boo. The highs are high, man.
All right. Well, Kyle, we're here. We are at the climax of our Dragon Ball Z bro conversation. It's been a journey. I appreciate you being on this journey.
It's been quite a snake way of conversation.
It's
It just kept getting longer. I was like, wow, there can't be too many more episodes of this, right? And it just keeps going.
I think honestly, condensing the 200 something episodes, we're at like 2 hours right now.
I think we're making great time.
Yeah, not too bad.
Because we're hitting a strange amount of details too.
I think Toriyama needs to take some notes from our little recording here. So
we did it better. Yeah, you heard it here first.
So fuck you, Toriyama, you suck.
Yeah, right. With your big heads and large eye animated characters,
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, the Boo saga, which I think over the years I've seen most people like the least. Not necessarily that they hate it, but they like Cell and Frieza saga more.
Yeah.
Does that sound about right?
I feel like that's a pretty good take, yeah.
Yeah. And I had mentioned before to you, Kyle, that having rewatched this the whole Dragon Ball Z, watching all the episodes again, it is now my favorite saga.
That's crazy. No, I'm kidding. That's totally. That's actually a saga on a return. Like when I watched that on Toonami, I'm like, yeah, that was cool. I mean, it's a little weird, but it was kind of cool. On subsequent rewatches, which I've rewatched the show too many times.
Sure.
But in my adulthood, like rewatching it, there was one particular time where I was like, dude, this season, like this whole arc slaps. Like it slaps hard. Like, you know, it's there's a lot of really big moments in that one, and we get our first kind of big taste in I mean, like, the whole world dies, like, in this arc, you know? Like, it's just, like, the stakes have never been bigger. And I know, well, they destroyed all of Namek and yada, yada, whatever.
Sure.
Whatever, they're aliens, they're not us, you know? USA, human race, you know? Like, so I have a little more stakes in, like, the Earth getting destroyed, you know?
But it's how it happens.
He does it, and it's sinister. Yeah. It's spooky.
Yeah, it's super spooky. And I mean, that's the thing, though. The bleakness of it isn't even just about Earth. That's where it starts. He actually then starts flying through the universe and just blowing up planets. Like,
I forgot about that. Just aimlessly, like with reckless abandon, you know?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of bullshit that we have to go through.
Yeah, so so basically, honestly, we can kind of just like really just sum up super quick. The first two arcs, which is the Otherworld arc.
I don't even count it as like a real arc. Kai cuts it out so quick, like that doesn't happen.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah, they cut all of that out. They're like, no, not all of this. It's kind of fun. You meet PyCon, you know, noseless
who kind of looks like Namekian.
But
I don't know if that's racist, but
I don't know. Yeah, a little bit. Maybe we're judging people by their skin. It's called racism, but yeah.
But I mean,
I always thought I was like, oh, he's like kind of a noseless Piccolo. That's kind of how I always pitched him. So.
Yeah, it's basically Goku because he died in the previous saga by Cell.
Yeah.
So it's just Goku being up in like Dragon Ball Z heaven. Just
I guess, wait, in hindsight, this season makes more sense though, right? Because of where we go, like in Super, like we're talking about gods and other universes and other heroes.
Yeah.
Like so.
Yeah.
I haven't gone back and watched this, and maybe it hits a little differently now, you know. But like this kind of weird season does open up the universe in ways that like. Doesn't get explored in Boo. We just kind of open it up and go, okay, we're gonna go take a Boo now. You know, like it kind of glosses past.
It is interesting because all right, so you have King Kai, right? But King Kai is actually just one of 4 Kais. So I think he's South Kai, because then you have North Kai and then East and West.
Mm-hmm.
And they show up during this little arc here up in Dragon Ball Z Heaven, where then they have like a tournament up there.
They bring their best warriors that are dead.
And one of those Kais brings PyCon.
Yeah.
So
and then some guy who looks like Hercules. I don't know.
Yes, exactly.
Whatever his name was.
So you have that introduction, but then you also have, and then right after that, in the skipping a couple arcs ahead, the World Tournament arc, you introduced to Supreme Kais. So now you're starting to get like a hierarchy of sort of like the people in charge of the universe, right?
Like we always thought as Kami as being God, and then like in Dragon Ball Z, they went one more. They're like, no, there's actually this guy who guards the afterlife, and he sends your soul to wherever, which is where these other gods preside and rule over and stuff like that. So that's King Kai and the Northeast and West gods or Kais or whatever. But then there's another. It's like Inception. There's another level, you know. And in fact, there's a lot more levels.
Yeah, there's exactly. But that's what
then you get Supreme Kai and the Ultimate Supreme Kai and then the Elder Kai. Like there's so many of them.
But yeah, so you get that introduction where you're kind of getting a taste of like where they're going to end up eventually getting to with Super. But in between the Otherworld arc and the World Tournament arc, you have the Great Saiyaman arc, which is there's a time skip in the Buu saga. So we jump ahead. I think it's about 7 years, around 7 years. So Gohan is older; he's in high school, and Goten is Goten is a new character. We're introduced. Goku knocked up Chi-Chi while he came down briefly to Earth and then left.
A dead guy had sex with his wife and they had a kid together. You can say it, Dan. Go ahead.
And he just basically looks like Goku because like his hairstyle is basically the same as Goku's.
Yeah, they saved some animation for sure. Some animation cells.
Absolutely. But yeah, so Goten, new kid, new Goku kid.
Which puts him at about like maybe 9 months to a year younger than Trunks. Like that's kind of the vibe you get.
Sure.
Like they're not the same age, but they're like peers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly. yeah, so Gohan's older, and then he's kind of going through, like, so he starts going to high school, but like he's trying to be sneaky about it because he can't be like, I can't fly around and freak people out. So then he does this whole alternate persona thing where he's a superhero. It's pretty cheesy, but it gives me Dragon Ball vibes. So like, if you're into that, then it is what it is.
It has a very specific Dragon Ball vibe, but I have nothing positive to say about any of it. Except that you're right about that, and I don't hate it while I'm watching it. It's just like when it's happening, I'm like, this is not my favorite part of this show.
Sure. But we do get introduced to, so Mr. Satan has a daughter, Videl.
This is the best part about all this, is now Mr. Satan or Hercule, whatever version you watch, is now very important to the Dragon Ball Z storytelling.
Yes, very important.
All season or arc or whatever you want to call it, like he is at the front and center of everything. Which
he actually does contribute to saving Earth. He does. Like,
he actually literally saves Earth. So.
Yeah. But
yeah, and I love his character. I love these giant buffoon. They're cooler than they think they are type of characters. That's my favorite anime trope. So. But Videl lather it on me, all the Mr. Satan.
Videl is actually like strong. She actually like learns how to fly during this arc. Gohan and Goten teach her. So, and she's definitely like actually physically stronger than Hercule is. So, but yeah, so going past the Great Saiyaman arc, we get to the World Tournament arc. So another tournament, Kyle. You must have been a big fan of this.
Love it. This is such a throwback. Yeah,
you love
tournaments. A lot of great vibes. Love tournaments. Everything about them in Dragon Ball Z, outside of them.
Yes,
ranking things are the bomb.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like this stuff is cool because now they're giving a reason for Goku to come back. They're gonna wish him back. He's gonna be back for a day. Which here we go with time again. Longest day ever.
Yes.
They're talking 100 episodes worth of day. Don't check the tape on that, Dan. It's 100 episodes.
I mean, the Buu Saga's, I think, the longest saga out of all. So it could be.
Such a long day, it's crazy. Like in the course of a day, they have a tournament. They fight all of Bibbidi and his people, or Bobbidi and all of his people.
Yep.
Goku and Vegeta fight. Yep. Both of them die. Both of them come back. They spend time in the hyperbolic time chamber. You know, it's just like all of this happens in a day. And at some point, Goku's like, "Well, I'm out of time." And it's like, I forgot that was a rule. So much time had passed.
Well, he does get revived before that actually runs out.
He does. That's true.
Yeah, old Kai revives him, but
well, doesn't he in Super Saiyan 3? Doesn't it expedite like his time? Yeah.
It does, but he does end up reviving him.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
But yeah, during the World Tournament arc, Goku comes and visits. He meets Goten for the first time, so that's a nice moment. Goten's kind of shy at first, but then he's like, "Oh, my dad's basically a child also, so this is cool." And they're just like, goofing, and it's fun.
It's like, look, I have a best friend because I already have a daddy. It's Piccolo.
Yeah.
Which he's now, I guess taking Goten under his wing. That would be great. I would love for Piccolo to stolen another kid. Like,
no, absolutely.
That one loves me too.
Yeah. Well, it's actually cute how he's what is it? Is it Pan? Yeah. Gohan's and Videl's daughter. He's very protective of her in Super, right? There's that whole episode.
To be honest, doesn't give a shit about Goten. All about Pan.
Yeah.
I've never even seen him like hold Goten, but like in every cell you see him in, he's always like with Pan or next to Pan, man.
But yeah, the tournament's actually kind of fun because you have the youth division, so you have Goten and Trunks just basically plowing through, just destroying all these kids because they don't have the strength that Goten and Trunks has, obviously. Yeah. So that basically
snot nosed kids too. It's really fun to get.
Yes. You got like the two like redneck kids and the mom out in the crowd just like screaming, and Chi-Chi's just like, I'm gonna knock this bitch out. Like
all that commentary is great. Like Chi-Chi and Bulma up in the crowd. I like when they're eyeballing each other when their kids are fighting.
Yeah. But Trunks does end up winning, so he does.
One of my favorite fights in all of Dragon Ball.
Yeah, that's actually a solid fight. It's fun.
Well animated fight. Lots of really cool stuff going on in that. They have to limit themselves, so it's like they're not, going full power. But when they do accidentally slip into Super Saiyan, it's cool. A lot of it's really cool.
So Kyle, I'm glad you mentioned animation. So one of the reasons that this is my favorite arc, it's the best animated arc out of all of them.
Yeah,
it's fantastic, and it's built up towards this. So obviously, it makes sense, right? As they're progressing through Z,
the thing that came out 10 years later looks better. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
exactly. So it does look the best out of all of them. So that's one of the reasons.
And it's very like their use of colors. Like I mean, it's everything about the way that the show looks just got better, and everyone got like especially in English, like the voice acting was like preem by the time like like going on here. Everyone was so comfortable. 200 something episodes in, they've never been more comfortable being these characters. So
exactly. But yeah, so the youth arc ends, and then we have the adults fighting, blah blah blah. Videl starts fighting this Super Jack dude who has an M on his forehead.
I used to remember this guy's name, but like that escapes me. So.
I don't remember what it is either. He's just he's like foaming at the mouth, just big Jack dude, and he's pummeling the shit out of her, but she just keeps getting up, dude, and just keeps fighting. She's super tough. But
this guy's obviously super. He's not just some Jack guy, you know. Like
sure,
the M is obviously a sign of power, you know.
Yes. It's a red herring. Is that the appropriate term for a red herring? Yes.
Well, yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. But right before that, you do meet the Supreme Kai. You don't know he's the Supreme Kai yet, but he's like this little fella.
Kind of creepy and lurking.
Yeah, you actually think he's evil at first because they sense something about him and they're looking at him, and then he's looking back at them like kind of like evil. And you're like, oh, is this gonna be like a villain or whatever? Like that's that's sort of the sensation that you get, the feeling that you get with what's going on there. And then he's got the is it Kibito? I forget the dude's
Kibito,
Kibito, yes. Sort of like hanging out right next to him with longer hair, so not a mohawk. The Supreme Kai has a mohawk, but
Supreme Kai is awesome. Like the way that he looks.
Yeah, I like his look. And then it basically, so that season, so the arc ends with that season ending with Gohan fighting one of the dudes with the M on his forehead, and they have like this almost like this jug that has like almost like a needle on it. And they stab him
That's right. I forgot this was the big like season clip or arc cliffhanger.
Yeah, to get energy out of him, and they're, you know, like Goku and all of them are freaking out. They're like about to go help him, and then Supreme Kai's like, no, wait, let this happen, because basically they want them to drain the energy out of Gohan and then go back to where the actual villain.
They tail him,
yeah, the actual villain that we're gonna be, or the sorcerer, not the main villain, but Bibbidi. That we'll find out about right after that.
Bibbidi's the
Bibbidi Bobbidi.
Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo.
Yes, thank you.
Writing.
Yes, because writing. Yeah. Some of the food references with the names like cauliflower and who was that dude that Frieza? He was like the general that revived Frieza. I forget what he had, like a food related name. It's like it's so weird.
Darbon?
No. I'm saying when they the Resurrection F.
Like that way later. Okay,
yeah. There's like the general. He said he's been sort of like
his name.
But it's like a food name, and it's like all right.
It's always been foods or underpants like Bulma or
Trunks,
Professor Briefs. You know,
All
right, come on, guys.
So weird. But yeah, so basically they jet off with the energy to go give to Bobbidi, who is a sorcerer, and he's the son of Bibbidi. Bibbidi is the creator of the main villain of this entire arc, and that is Boo. But yeah, Bibbidi is the son. Boo killed Bobbidi a long time ago, so that's why we have the son now kind of doing the bidding, like X amount of time. I don't know where he's been this whole time, but suddenly he just appears, and he's just like, yeah, gotta revive Boo. So I don't know where sort of the gaps are there, where he's been this whole time, but
and now that's all what Dragon Ball Z is now, is you know, and then the God of Destruction comes out, and he's so strong, you know.
Well, he's been sleepy. He was sleeping.
Yeah, well, he's been sleeping. Yeah, once and Boo was in a bubble, and Bobbidi was, I don't know, like unveiling his father's work. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
They probably honestly mentioned it. Again, it's just a small detail that I'm missing, but.
Yeah, and like a long time ago, all the Kais got together and like fought Boo and trapped him away this way, and like
so that's a whole thing that you find out with Boo later on as to why he's Fat Boo when he finally hatches out of the pod.
Which is it is like top tier subversion of expectations, like ever. Like you're expecting to see this like doomsday device, and it's this pink, fluffy, high pitch.
Yeah, he's like a child, right?
It's so ridiculous. And he eats candy. Like, everything about him, you're like, what the absolute... But he turns into a pretty deviant, a deviant. He turns into a pretty big deviant. You know?
Even as Fat Boo, he actually is terrifying because he can basically beat the shit out of anything.
I think once he starts fighting Vegeta, I'm like, oh, okay, this is like a legit bad guy. Like, up until then, I'm like, what in the... Go on, you got punked by this guy just now? Like, what's going on here, man?
Yeah. Well, you have the whole thing where they're going, so they basically get to his ship, Babidi's ship, and they go through like these like levels of like fighting these different villains.
So video game, you know? What I mean?
It is.
We're gonna fight every boss on every level, and
you're also introduced to Deborah,
who's cool,
who's super cool looking.
Satan, like that's who he is. You know, like.
He's the king of demons, right? King of all demons.
He's king of all demons. Yeah. Like, I'm like, this is a cool character, and they like never do anything with this character, which is so weird to me.
I know.
But he really, conceptually, design-wise, what he is, all very cool. Just there was never any more. Yeah. Always can come back. He can always come back.
Yeah, that's true. He's actually a good guy now after he gets killed. So.
After he gets the M off his face, he's like, oh, I kind of went crazy there for a second. It's like, yeah dude, yeah. And then you're tattooed on your forehead, bro. Like,
but basically, they get all the energy. They pump it into Boo's pod. He eventually hatches. He comes out. He's the big, fluffy, pink, ridiculous thing that you said. And it's like, what's going on? You can't take this thing seriously.
We can't gloss over that they fight and kill some guy named Pui Pui. Okay? We don't have to dwell on it. I just needed to throw it out there,
so. No, we can spend about 2 hours talking about Pui Pui.
Sure. So Pui Pui is no, fuck that. I have no idea. Like, there are just some and then like they fight some like monster in the dark. Like, there's some classic like sea level villains that they fight here. You're like, what? What are these designs? It's so weird.
I did skip over actually a very important moment there because I mentioned Boo does come out of his pod and he does come to life.
Some people died and stuff, huh?
Well, Goku and Vegeta.
Yeah.
So there's that very important moment. So Vegeta.
Oh, what happens with them?
Well, Babidi realizes that there's definitely some evil in Vegeta. He senses that he could possess him and take over his mind and convert him as one of his mindless soldiers. And then it happens. So then Vegeta has the M on his forehead, so he becomes Majin Vegeta. But he does have a very strong will.
Sick blue, like, he doesn't have his armor on anymore. I really like his look this season.
Yeah. So basically, he's under the control of Babidi, but he actually does resist it mostly, like, because Babidi's telling him to do something. He's like, dude, I'm gonna fight Goku. Like, this is what I want to do.
He did kill like 10,000 people at the arena. Not a huge deal. Yeah. It's okay. It was just a wing of it.
That's okay.
But I remember like Bulma saw it and like fainted, and I'm like, dude, shit's getting real right now. And I love this is like what it's all about. Like, it boils down to like it being about Goku versus Vegeta. Even though I know like Vegeta's a good guy and stuff like that, like this is like what we're all here to see. And man, this delivered. Like, this hardcore delivers. This is one of the greatest anime fights in the history of all of anime.
Oh, absolutely, dude. It's a culmination.
It's a culmination fight. It's really
all these feelings.
Really something.
It's all these feelings that Vegeta kind of like almost like sort of pushed down, because it's like he kind of like became a good guy, but he still has that like sort of anger inside of him.
That
clearly
conquering like personality.
Yeah, he's the prince of all Saiyans, right?
Now. Yeah.
So and Goku's just always been one-upping him, and he's just like obviously
almost undeservingly, even though Goku puts in the work, but like to Vegeta, he's like he's not even worthy of it,
Yeah, he's just a low level clown, right? He's always calling him clown. I love when he calls him clown.
I love it. I love it when Vegeta like just gets mad at Goku for no reason. Like, no, I won't work with you. It's like, dude,
it's Super. He just straight up calls him like just like a dumbass like several times. Yeah. Like the way he talks.
He hazes Goku all of Super. It's great. Yeah.
It's so fun.
I hate you so. Yeah, you're so stupid.
You're such a dumbass.
I really like that. It is a culmination, and like the fights are good here. They go into like a cave for a bit. And they try and stab each other with stalactites and stalagmites. It's so dope. Like,
very aggressive. Faces getting smashed into the side of cliffs, which I'm a big fan of cliffs, Kyle. So,
huge fan. I've heard.
Huge fan.
These cliffs were very face smash worthy.
Yeah, they were. So it's a very aggressive fight.
Lots of beam battle, like just great stuff going on in this fight. We do learn a little bit later that this whole thing was a ruse, and Goku is actually way stronger the whole time. He does, and that's Akira Toriyama, who on record he doesn't like Vegeta, and as often as he can, like sticks it to him just to piss off the fans. And I'm like,
now,
what a torturous relationship you have with your fans, but that's fine.
Now, this is not something that I've.
Oh,
sorry, this is not something that I've known because you've brought this up several times, so it's not something that I've been aware of. Why include this character in your show and keep him around then?
So, so it's an archetype. The good, like it's an all Shonen Jump like anime, like where it's like the bad guy who was super bad, but then he became good, and now he's kind of like the right. Like it's just a trope, you know. So like he is just representing that trope, and that character specifically became way more popular than he ever wanted him to be. And now like it's like he spends his life building him up only to be like, yes, Psyche, you're a bitch. Goku like sneezed and he got into 2 more transformations. So
Sure.
And like that's what it feels like a lot of the times too. But every once in a while, he'll let Vegeta really, because like at the end of the day, Akira Toriyama loves his fans, you know.
Sure.
He'll really give Vegeta a big moment, but then steal it away from him like not too much later, like to keep the balance, you know. Thanos
Which is what happens. After that fight, because basically he tricked so Goku and Vegeta like sense Majin Buu being revived. So they're like, all right, like Goku's like, all right, we have to stop. We gotta chill. We gotta go take care of that. So he's like, yeah, sure, okay. Toss me a sensu bean. Turns his back and Vegeta gives him a good old chop to the neck. And,
it's a win. I count it as a win.
Yeah, absolutely. KO.
Yeah, it's a W.
KO.
W for Vegeta. Yeah, you got to keep your eyes on the prize, Goku.
You know, like... So Goku is dead and unconscious, basically.
Yeah.
He's actually dead.
He's like laying there with a halo above his head, like just in the middle of the desert. It's so great.
Just unconscious.
And Vegeta's like, bye, I gotta go.
Yeah. So Vegeta's gonna go have his moment because at this point he's like, well, I have this Majin thing going on. I got extra power. I got this boost.
Right now. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go take care of Majin Buu.
And really believes it.
Yeah, he really does. And he fights Buu, and you know he does his best, but it's just not gonna work out, is it? It's not gonna work out, Kyle.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good fight. And it's not like really well choreographed, but like there's a lot of great moments, and I really like the father-son stuff between him and Trump. It was just the part that I cry every time I watch that. I'm just like,
yes.
Oh God, tell your mother I love her. You know, like so good. It's so, and then karate chops the shit out of him and Goten because they wouldn't leave. And then gets Piccolo to hightail it, who has been dead this whole time, which we glossed over. He got spit on by Dabura.
Oh, yeah.
So has the power to turn people to stone or something. I don't know. I think Krillin got it too. But Piccolo fell over and shattered.
Yeah.
But because he's Namekian, he can put himself back together.
Yeah. He just sprouted his limbs back. Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense. It's weird. But but Krillin just like, I'm back. You know.
Yeah, Krillin
has hair now too. Just FYI.
Yes, he does.
And 18 wins the tournament, and 18's also one of my favorite characters in the whole show.
Oh, really?
She's such a bad bitch.
Yeah, she is pretty cool.
She's like schemes Hercule out of money. Yeah. She's always built like such a good wife. She's always building Krillin up. She's like, when I married you, you were a warrior. You're kind of a pussy ass baby now. Talking super, you know. And she's like, I'm sorry, sweetie. You know, let me go prove myself again. You know, I love her whole demeanor. You know. And
when Hercule's getting interviewed, she's just off in the corner, just giving him like just the biggest stink eye. Like,
you better pay me. Yeah. I love it. The whole, not to backtrack, but the whole ruse, like, that was my giant delayed punch.
Yeah. My new move.
The whole crowd has to like totally make up.
Yeah. This is all legit.
Hercule's the greatest ever.
He's the greatest schemer of all time.
Yeah. He's a grifter. He's the best in the class. So.
Yeah.
But back to the big moment with Boo. We see I forget what the move's called. The final moment or final.
Well, he just basically just explodes. He just literally turns himself into a bomb.
It's in games, but he charges up so much. He just channels all of his powers out, which we revisit again in Super later. That like it explodes himself and everything around him.
Yeah.
And it kills Boo, or we think it does, but like he has the ability to like gloob back together like Cell, because we're like, wow, we gotta bring that back, you know?
Of course, absolutely. But this is actually the moment for me. So like rewatching, so when I was younger, I was like kind of like similar vibes with Leonardo and Raphael from Ninja Turtles. the like noble, like pure-hearted guy, warrior versus like the one that has all like the angst and like all sort of like the stuff inside of him that he needs to work through. I was always pro Leonardo and pro Goku growing up. Those were like my favorite characters.
But when you're an adult.
And then, yeah, as an adult, I still love Goku, but it's like, and then also with watching Super, I think Vegeta has like a bunch of excellent moments in Super.
Yeah,
it's like I basically like Vegeta just as much as Goku now.
Yeah, Vegeta is like fully realized in Super, I think, because like he kind of comes to terms with just like, listen, Goku just has some kind of organic ability to be super strong. And, I just have to work around that, you know.
Yeah,
and like and he does. He kind of carves his in the manga, which we haven't gotten to, and I won't spoil too much. Like he kind of figures out a new path. Like once Goku figures out Ultra Instinct, Vegeta's like, well, I'm all ego, baby, and I can't be selfless, and that's how you become Ultra Instinct. So he's like, so I have to come up with something new. Sure. And he creates a transformation called Ultra Ego, you know, and it's his version of it. I don't know what it looks like.
Is that what that is? That at the end where he's like extra blue?
No, that's in Super. This is this would be hundreds of episodes later from what we've seen.
Okay.
In terms of manga to episode count, you know. Gotcha. So like
I look forward to that then.
Me too, dude. Yeah, I've read bits and pieces about what's happening in each arc since the Tournament of Power arc, and I'm sitting here like every day going, why are these episodes not out? Like, this is so crazy. Like, this is some really cool.
Oh, Super is absolutely incomplete. Like, it's absolutely incomplete.
Yeah, I mean
the anime. The anime.
Yeah. I mean, there's hundreds of episodes that you can get out of the comic books that have gone beyond the Tournament of Power. Yeah. Hundreds.
Yeah.
Maybe 100, maybe as many as we've had, like 150 somewhere.
Sure.
There.
I mean, I don't know. We'll hopefully get there.
We will. Yeah.
But we're still in Z, Kyle. We're still in Z.
Oh. God. Yeah, and then Boo dies, and then boom, Z. Okay, so Khalifa. No. Boo's still got some good stuff. We have that. Remember the Rugrats episode where they shrink down into Chucky and get like the watermelon seed? I don't know if you have that memory of a Rugrats cartoon.
Oh yeah.
Dragon Ball Z does that. They're like, we're gonna shrink ourselves down. Okay, anyways, I don't want to jump ahead.
Basically, excellent Vegeta moment. He explodes. He blows himself up as a bomb. Sacrifices himself. He dies. Vegeta dies.
Yeah, and by this point, Gohan's dead because he gets beat up by Boo. Which I didn't.
Oh, he's near death. He's near death.
Well, don't they like? He's almost dead, so they literally take his spirit to other world, like the Kais or whatever.
They heal him up, but he's like near. He's like as close to death as you could possibly be.
Okay, I got you.
Because they can't even really sense his energy.
Yeah, that's right.
And Supreme Kai actually got pummeled too. So because Supreme Kai is basically all effed up, and he's climbing over mountains and stuff looking for Gohan. Yeah. Like he's really messed up.
Kibito's dead.
Well, Kibito,
with Dabura, right? Like, didn't he?
Yeah. Because he flew up right in his face and just blasted him point blank. So
yeah.
But at one point he does get revived. He does come back to life.
Yeah, there's some weird fusion stuff going on there.
Yeah. Because then they basically take Gohan and they go to like their planet, the Supreme Kai planet that he has.
The planet of the Kais.
But let's see. So yeah, Vegeta sacrifices himself. Piccolo flies back to kind of assess the situation and pay respects. But then he sees Boo reforming, and he's like, "You gotta be effing kidding me, dude! like this dude is still alive." So Bibbidi. Oh, and then Bibbidi's still alive because you think he's dead, but he's not actually dead. So then he's flying around with Boo. But Boo does actually end up killing him, like for real.
Which is awesome. Real Frankenstein monster moment, you know?
Yeah. But that's after I think Goku goes Super Saiyan 3 for the first time.
Yeah.
Which we see. This is the first time he goes even above Super Saiyan 2. And he's actually showing Boo like the different, because I think he's buying time.
He is, yeah. But he's explaining it like a wiki. Like this is Super Saiyan 2, you know,
yeah. And he's showing Boo. Boo's just floating there. Same with Bibbidi. Bobbidi, and he's showing him the different, and then he goes Super Saiyan 3, and it's super. His hair gets super long, dude.
His eyebrows,
yeah, just which is such like a.
No sense.
Yeah. Just his eyebrows are gone. Maybe you know what? All the hair from the eyebrows had to add to the long hair.
you know what? Absolutely. It's all your pubes and it's your eyebrows. It all just sucks in and becomes your
arm hair, leg hair,
all of it. Yeah,
all the
so
hair.
You become Ken doll, just purely.
Soup, bikini, like a Brazilian wax,
all the way across the body.
Yeah,
hair, luscious loxo.
Yes. And Goku is actually definitely keeping up with Boo here. Like they're fighting, and it's a pretty good back and forth. But he can't beat Boo.
Yeah.
He's also, like you said, he's draining away his time on Earth that he has,
which doesn't really make sense. It's time based, not whatever. It's fine. We don't have to get into it.
Whatever.
It's magic.
And then you also have Gohan. So when Gohan getting transported back with Supreme Kai and Kibito on his planet to train with the Z sword. So he's swinging that sword that basically no one's been able to pull out. So it's like
Arthurian.
Excalibur or whatever, right? Is it Excalibur that they pull out of
Excalibur, yeah.
So that's basically so he's training with that. Let's see. And then you have the whole moments where Boo's flying around. Boo's just like destroying cities and villages. Because now he doesn't have
Bobbity to candy,
Yeah, he doesn't have Bobbity to control him. So he's just a loose cannon. He meets like a blind kid and heals him. which is so
random.
Which is so hilarious because it's like that's the innocent part of Boo. Like that one
and
moment.
You have that power to just like
sure.
You're Jesus pretty much, you're pink blob Jesus.
He's Jesus. He's Jesus. So yeah, that's a thing that happens. Meanwhile, Goten and Trunks, because Goku showed Piccolo. So basically, he showed Piccolo real quick the fusion dance. So this is
I'm about to be gone.
Introduction.
And it's literally going to be just up to these two. So you need to teach them this, which he just learned from Otherworld or whatever, I guess. And you need to teach it, and like, good luck.
Yeah. I'm gonna show you super quick because I have like an hour maybe. So I'm gonna show you super quick the fusion dance, and you're gonna teach us to Goten and Trunks. And we get the hilarious bad fusion dances where we get a skinny like anorexic Trunks, we get like an obese Trunks.
Show about fucking failed fusions across all the movies and everything. I'm just like there's so much great stuff here.
This is the second reason, Kyle, why this is my favorite saga is fusions. I love fusions.
Okay, yeah.
Give me all the fusions, Kyle.
Gotenks is like one of my top three favorite. Like I just he becomes such a. I think Chi-Chi always calls him that little deviant,
Yeah.
Because like
he's a cocky little bastard.
Yeah, they're not like Trunks. It's not Trunks or Goten, and it's not Trunks and Goten. They create like a new persona, you know. Like so, like this kid is Gotenks.
Yeah,
and like he is a little shit, and he's so cocky, and I'm all the way here for it. I couldn't be more here for it.
He has the stupidest moves
because he's seen his family members fight, and they're like, they have cool names, so we're just gonna name our. And it's so like on the nose and obvious. He like has like a ball, and he's like, "That's a super Boo volleyball attack," and he spikes it like a volleyball, and a super kamikaze ghost, because he has ghosts that are kamikazes. Like everything's so on the nose, and you're just like, God, this kid doesn't even understand anything about like he's an 8-year-old kid naming like super moves while he's trying to save the world. Like putting that much on the shoulders of a boy, it's totally crazy.
Exactly. But again, he's just the fusion of two children, combined creates a very cocky, condescending little shithead. And
which Piccolo doesn't deserve this. He's like, God damn it.
Well, but he's a good dad, He's a good dad. So then we get to, and I was trying to I had it up the other day, and I'm going to have to just grab it again because I wanted to actually break down all the forms, Kyle, because as you're going through as you're going through this whole fusion thing, meanwhile, Hercule or Mr. Satan goes and confronts Boo. He's gonna go do what he's basically telling these people like, I'll take care of this, don't worry about it. He's just like, I have a bag full of like tricks. He literally has a bag full of tricks like bombs and like poison.
Because he thinks that's what they're using. Like he's always like, it's smoke and mirrors and ninja wire.
Yeah.
And, like,
he literally feeds him poison. He feeds him poison. Nothing happens. But he basically befriends Boo. He actually is like, Boo, like, do you even want to do any of this anymore? You don't actually have to. Boo's like, all right. So Boo's a good guy.
Yeah.
And then the dog. We also have the dog too. So that's part of the process of him becoming a good guy because he explained, because the dog. The dog was injured and Boo healed him. That's what it was. He had like a broken leg.
Shit gets really dark here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because he heals the dog, and now he's like, this is my companion.
Is Boo the first John Wick?
Yes.
Is that what we're learning?
Keanu Reeves stole it from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Keanu Reeves was watching the Boo saga and goes, "Wait a minute. Whoa. I got an idea."
What's the other one? I can work with that, or whatever the quote is. I don't remember. I forget. You said it during our thing. It was really good. But yeah, so basically he befriends the dog and Hercule. They're just all buddy now, hanging out. They're taking baths together. Like, it's super weird. Like,
it's a little weird. Yeah.
It's a little weird.
Whatever. If someone who could destroy the world told me you're taking a bath with me, I'd be like, I guess I am. I don't have much of a choice. So.
But then you have this like random two knuckleheads that are going around shooting people because it's the end of the world. So they're like, whatever, I don't care. They're just sniping. They snipe like an old couple, which is like super dark. That shit sucks, dude.
Incredibly dark.
I do not like that part. These guys suck, and they have like Australian accents for some reason. But yeah, they basically end up shooting the dog, Boo's dog. They shoot his dog while they're playing fetch, and Boo is not happy.
Yeah, no. This is the only thing he's ever loved in his life.
Yeah, except for Hercule. Hey, he probably loves Hercule, right? I mean,
yeah, maybe, like in a bro way. This is, but love of
this dog.
Like
yeah,
little fur baby.
So he then basically goes insane, and something comes out of him, Kyle. Mm-hmm. So if we're gonna break down the Boo forms, I guess that dark kind of skinnier thing that comes out of him is considered one of the forms. So if I'm gonna bring this up here. So we have Fat Boo, which is the Boo that you're introduced to. Yeah. And then I guess it's called Evil Boo.
Evil Boo is like the gray Boo. Yep.
Yeah. So basically it's the dark energy that came. It basically the dark energy just came out of Boo in that moment, in all of his anger and fury. It just
expunged it. Yeah.
Yeah, it came out of him in physical form, and it's basically now there's two Boos there existing in that moment. Essentially an evil Boo and then just the Fat Boo. And they end up fighting, and the evil Boo wins because he absorbs Fat Boo.
Yeah.
Or he turns him into a cookie or something, right? And then eats him and absorbs him.
I don't know. This is all super weird. Like, just splits into two completely different personalities or entities, and then eats himself. I don't know. He reverse eats himself. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but he turns into, I believe it's Super Boo is what he turns into.
Okay.
After he absorbs them. You also have Fusion Boo, which is when he absorbs was it Gotenks?
Yep.
So
what is he when he absorbs Gohan?
That is it Ultimate Boo? He becomes once he absorbs Gohan, he becomes Ultimate Boo.
Okay. And it's Kid Boo right after?
Yeah, Kid Boo. Yep. Yeah, which is actually his real form. So Fat Boo is not his real form. So like you had mentioned a long time ago, Bibbidi and Boo went to go and basically F up a bunch of Supreme Kais. And there's like a main Supreme Kai, like the king of all the Supreme Kais or something like that. And he's fighting Kid Boo, and Kid Boo absorbs him and turns into Fat Boo. So that's why he has that physique, but also that childlike kind of nature, because apparently that like king of all those all the Kais or whatever just kind of had that sort of personality, just very innocent and like just noble and good. So that's kind of like it's the darkness mixed with the good of that Kai.
Yeah.
So that's why you get that Boo.
Yeah.
But there's also South Boo, which is actually technically the first Kai that he absorbs during that fight. He absorbs like this big muscular Kai. So he turns into South Boo, which is actually the first transformation. And then you have specifically Piccolo Boo, which is I think when they was it another fusion, but this was more in his mind. I think when they are able to extract Gohan, maybe.
Yeah, I forget. Probably. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of transformation.
It gets a little weird. Yeah, it gets really transformation, which Super echoes too. We were just like, I think everyone just transformed 10 times. I don't know. It's really strange.
Kyle. This is my third reason why this is my favorite saga.
Lay it on me.
I love transformations.
Transformations are awesome. They're
I'm
stand-up
all
and cheer
about 'em.
moments, you know?
Yeah, because it's like you're anticipating what is this dude gonna look like? Like it was the same with Frieza. It was the same with Cell.
This series does a really good job of building it too. Where you're just like, yes, transform.
Yeah, and Boo transforms the most. So more transformations is a pro in my book, Kyle.
It's Barney Stinson logic right there. It's just more better, you know.
Absolutely. But yeah, so basically you have at one point Gotenks is fighting Boo inside the they trap well actually right before that is where he does his mass extinction attack. So that's when he's on the was it the lookout? Is that I forget what it's called.
Yeah,
is that
the
Kami's lookout?
Yeah.
And he's just kind of pacing around the lookout and he's looking down. Because Piccolo's like, hey, why don't you take care of the rest of the people while we need a few more minutes? And everyone's
like, crazy. Like, that's Piccolo's like, why don't you go kill more people on Earth while we figure this out real quick, you know?
Yeah, and
that's
the gang's
like where we're at right now. You know?
Yeah, because the gang's like, Piccolo, what the hell, dude? What do you do? And he's like, listen, he's gonna do it either. We need the time right now. We need a few extra minutes. So yeah, dude walks around Kame's lookout and then just extends his hand up and just like a million beams.
Stay still, everyone! Don't move! Whoa! Crazy!
Look! Wow!
Oh, check it out! Fireworks! Look, boy! They're everywhere!
It's like he was scanning how many people were on Earth and then just like shot one bullet for every person and just it was dope. That whole thing was
and
great,
he murders millions children, women. People.
Has he already taken out Chi-Chi and everybody, or is that afterwards?
That's after. That's
okay,
after.
Okay. But yeah, that's
after the
part.
hyperbolic temperature.
Yeah, that's right. He's super mad about all that.
Yeah. He's super mad.
He breaks out. He's like, no way, bud.
Yeah, but like, dude, so this is it's so bleak. He except for because there's a quick scene where you see Chaozu and Tien still training, and the beams are like they're like dodging the. They're like, oh shit, what the hell's going on? And
this
Hercule
is the
and the
second
dog.
reason why Tien is my favorite character.
Yeah, there you go.
Because like here he is again, he just showed and later he shows up, but right now he's like, yeah, that thing that killed everybody didn't kill me. I'm like, of course it didn't. Yeah, dude, because you're like you're the BAM fan, you're the badass motherfucker.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, basically everyone on Earth is dead except for Chaozu, Tien, Hercule, and the dog. Because then Boo does going back, he does like revive the dog, like they heal the dog, but like the damage was done, and obviously Boo goes on a rampage. But but there's basically they're the only ones alive on Earth now. Yeah, so it's just them. And then they get Boo into the hyperbolic time chamber. He fights Trunks. Trunks does do a number on him. He does rough him up because then because then Boo gets so mad that he literally rips a hole in space time or whatever.
He just he destroys like whatever powers, so it must be space time that and it just like almost it kind of starts collapsing the hyperbolic time chamber in a way.
Yeah, because then he jumps through it because basically at one point Piccolo's like, I gotta destroy the entrance. I need to destroy
which
the entrance.
Gotenks was like, what the F, dude? I don't want to be trapped in here forever. And Piccolo's like, sorry. Like this guy, Piccolo over here is making the hard decisions. He just gambled everybody's life away on Earth and then got in there and basically killed everybody in the hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah. It
was a pretty good plan. High stakes, pretty good plan though.
Yeah.
Because Dende's still alive, you can undo all this. You know what I mean? You can, there's still opportunity to undo all this, but things change when they get out of the hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah, Boo gets out. He is pissed. He turns all of them into candy.
Yep.
So Krillin, Chi-Chi, Bulma, just
Dende, everybody.
Well, I think Dende still sticks.
No, Dende
around.
sticks because they.
Yeah, because then Hercule and Dende are like kind of.
Hercule and Dende are like a team. Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of like going around chasing after them. But yeah, he eats all of them. So now they're definitely all dead. And yeah, so Piccolo and Gotenks escape. They basically create their own opening in the hyperbolic time chamber, so they're able to escape. And then we get to the point where Gohan eventually breaks the Z sword and unleashes Old Kai, who's basically just a Kai version of Master Roshi, right? I mean,
1,000%.
He's just basically Master Roshi Kai.
He comes right out of the thing asking for porno magazine. Like right out of this enchanted sword, the strongest god to ever live. And he's like, you guys got any of those nudie mags? Like, it's really bizarre.
Extremely. But I mean, he's been trapped in there for a while, so he's got the hornies, Kyle. He's got the hornies.
You know what? Who am I to shame him for having the hornies after being trapped for an epoch?
For an epoch. Yes, exactly. But yeah, he busts out of the sword, and then somehow at some point Goku makes it onto the planet. I forget what the actual chain of events are there, because Goku
he just instant transmissions. He's like, oh, there's Gohan, and like I just
but he was back up in heaven, so I forget like what I don't know if they were just
he's dead and just like because like Kai world is part of the other afterlife world or whatever, so he just like his soul
goes there, I guess.
Yeah. But they have a big problem with that. They're like, how dare you step foot on the ancient? I think Kibito has a big. I don't know. Maybe it was Kai. I don't know, but.
No, it was Kibito because it's like he's not even supposed to be. They're not even supposed to be touching the sword. But then he slowly starts to kind of like respect clearly, like these people are like insanely powerful, like these Saiyans. But yeah, then that old Supreme Kai does this like nonsense like. How I don't know 7-hour dance around Gohan.
It's 20 episodes. Don't check the tape. It's 20 episodes.
Yeah, it's 1/5 of the whole thing. And then eventually, like, because then the obviously it is taking a long time, and they're like, dude, what the hell's taking? And then Gohan like for a moment gets angry and like just like the power just like, and he's like, oh, all right. I'll sit back down.
I'll let you finish it up.
Yeah. You have a few more minutes. You said like, yeah, we can finish this up.
And this is kind of another like like we're building Gohan up again,
Yes,
like it feels like things are back on him. It's back on making him powerful. They think that they can awaken some sort of like exuberant power out of him or whatever. And this all
which they do.
This all gets curbed super quickly.
It does, but he's super.
But it does happen. And Mystic Gohan, that's my favorite Gohan.
Because it's just bare bones Gohan, but he's like super powerful, like unbelievably
he transforms. Like there's electricity around, but like his hair doesn't go gold, but it does go straight up, And it's I don't know. There's a look to this.
There's a simplicity to it,
Yeah, I really enjoy it.
Yeah. So then he makes it back to Earth, and he's just beating the shit out of Boo. He's
but Gotenks and Boo fight for a bit outside, which is a good fight too. But then I think they split, right? Like time's up.
Time's up. Yeah. Time's up.
And they're doing a good job against him still, mind you. I think so.
Gohan shows up. He definitely sticks it to Boo. But then Gohan does the whole like like when they go Super Saiyan, they get cocky. So he gets cocky and he's kind of standing there. I think he's letting maybe Gotenks or like, because I think they fuse back and kind of lets him have a moment, but then he absorbs Gotenks And Piccolo. He absorbs them both, I believe.
Yeah, because he talks about like now I have the tactical prowess of Piccolo and the power of those brats or whatever.
Yeah. And then eventually he does end up absorbing Gohan as well, and that's when he becomes the Ultimate Buu, I believe.
Which he's just like Buu but wearing Goku's shirt, which I've always found funny. I'm like,
yeah. And then we jump ahead. At one point, then Goku has a conversation with dead Vegeta up in Dragon Ball Z heaven. I mean, he's like, bro, I need your help, man. We gotta go do this. We gotta go take care.
Like, yeah, but I died, and this is where things like stop mattering. Like, I think like someone's just like, yeah, I mean, you can go to Earth for a little bit.
Yeah,
this. And that like, okay.
That Satan-looking large man. I forget his name. He has a name. The one at the desk.
I can't. Now I'm on the spot. I can't remember it.
Anyway, I can't remember his name, but he's the one that's always signing the stuff and stamping, and he's like, "All right, you can go to heaven, whatever." So he lets them go back to Earth because it's like Boo's just murdering everybody, and all of these souls are piling in, and it's like basically they don't want to do paperwork, right? I mean, it's basically what it is. They don't want to do paperwork. So yeah, Goku and Vegeta go back down to Earth, but like meanwhile they're arguing because Vegeta's like, dude, bro, like you fucking lied to me. Like I thought we were evenly matched, if not me slightly stronger than you, which is why I beat you. Also because I tricked you. But you can go Super Saiyan 3. Like I know you can do that. I saw it. So yeah. There's a hesitation there.
Big sour feels about that. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a hesitation there for right before the other fusion that we learn about, Kyle. The Patara earrings.
That's right. Yeah. No dumb dances.
We
can wear earrings instead. It's super cool.
Yeah, exactly. But we learn about so at one point there's a conversation about the earrings. As he's throwing Vegeta the earrings, he's like, yeah, by the way, this is permanent. Vegeta's like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? You're telling me this now? Like but then they fuse and they become Vegito.
Yep.
So now there's a new fusion there. So it's a little more emphasis on Vegeta as opposed to Gogeta, which is...
That was like kind of the agreement. He's like, yeah, but I'm like taking lead or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever, sure.
And this fight is awesome because Vegito the entire time is just owning Buu at this point.
I have never seen a good guy deliver such a beat down to a bad guy. Like there was something really like special about this particular beatdown.
Because Buu does his own like almost kind of like spirit bomb. Like this massive orb of energy.
Yeah.
He hurls it down at Vegito. Vegito just like he kicks it at him like a soccer ball.
Yeah.
He just like kicks it right at him. And yeah, it's a good fight because it's definitely very much leaning Vegito kicking his ass. And then at one point, I forget if he does it on purpose, if Vegito allows him to do it on purpose, but Buu absorbs Vegito. And then that's where we have the whole Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. They're inside Buu.
Yeah.
That stuff's happening.
We have to do that. Yeah.
That stuff's happening. But basically, that's the reason for that is so they find, Goten, Trunks, Piccolo, Gohan, all inside of him to, rip him out of Buu. So he can obviously no longer be Ultimate Buu. They also find Fat Buu in there.
Yeah.
So they rip him out. And that's when he just goes insane. And there's like, he's like a boiling pot, just like all the steam.
Child.
Yeah, the steam pouring out of him.
The steam, yeah.
And this is now when we have the last form, which is Kid Buu, which is his original form.
Yeah.
And he blows up Earth.
Like immediately. Like that's the first, like, all right, this is done. I did that.
Yeah, just massive orb of, another like spirit bomb size energy orb just hurls it down at Earth. Vegeta and Goku are like flying away, and like last minute Goku panics. He sees Dende and Hercule and just instant transmissions to Supreme Kai's planet.
Yeah.
And then eventually Buu does find his way there. On the way there, he's destroying planets left and right.
Everything, yeah.
It's reckless abandon. Dude does not give a shit at all. Looking for them, he finds them. And then we kind of have like, then we got the fun moment where Hercule actually does contribute, and like he's like yelling at Boo, and like Fat Boo actually Fat Boo did not get hold on, because I thought Fat Boo gets ripped out now, or was it?
No, he got ripped out at the same time as everybody else.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm pretty because that's what instigates his transformation is that Fat Boo was taken away from him.
I'm trying to see now I'm all mixed up because basically I don't remember Boo being on the planet because I thought Hercule yells at Kid Boo and he freezes, but then Fat Boo does fight Kid Boo at one point during this last fight. I'm forgetting the order of things, but that does happen. So Hercule basically gets Fat Boo to kind of get in there and actually help out Goku and Vegeta because they can't take on Kid Boo. Like they're no match for Kid Boo.
Yeah, especially split up and depleted, and he's stronger now somehow.
Yeah. And there's actually a great moment when Goku's kind of like he's just on the ground. He's like, dude, I need a rest, and he's like to Vegeta is like, dude, like I'd really appreciate it if like you just like I'm sorry for before. Could you help me out here? And there's a good like camaraderie here with Vegeta and Goku. Yeah. And I think there's actually some combo attacks that happen in here, which I'm a huge fan of when Goku and Vegeta actually are like back to back, like just synchronized and like doing stuff.
You know who else likes that? Whis. I like it every time Whis is like, look how much y'all can do when y'all team up, and like they're like, shut up, Whis. You know, I love it. But like when they are fighting together, it's aces. Like
some of the best moments. Some of the best.
Yeah. It's for people who just hate each other. They have a lot of synergy.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, so much stuff. Like I'm totally gonna be missing the Shen was it Purunga? The Shen Namekian dragon gets summoned so they can bring Earth back. And then they use I think they use the Earth Dragon Balls. I forget. I don't know. But they basically Goku.
They Dragon Ball. They daisy chain wishes to undo all this pretty much.
But basically,
which at this point, like I don't care. Like they've used Dragon Balls that so many times to undo everything that like it never feels cheap to me. I'm like, whatever, just follow this world. That's
they're trying to do a process because it's like they bring back Earth, they bring back everyone. Everyone is now alive again, and Goku needs their energy. Like literally everything in the universe is energy. Yeah, because now we're gonna
use it at success for the first time ever.
Yes, exactly. Like you mentioned before. So now it's full circle, Kyle. We're back to the Spirit Bomb, and this time Goku amasses enough energy. After some because he's like arguing with people on Earth, and Vegeta's like yelling at them, which is that scene's actually
come on, you idiots, raise your hands up in the air, it's a pretty silly moment, but like I like it. I really dig this. Like everyone,
and this is
going to take our lives if we don't, all raise. And I think Hercule's the one that like isn't he the one that finally
he tells
everybody,
it's Hercule. I'm on a secret mission on another planet, and this Boo guy is still trying to kill everything.
Help our buddies out. Raise your hands in the air,
So he's really the main reason, because without the energy of everyone on Earth, Goku would not have built up enough of a spirit bomb to take out Boo. So he hurls that thing down at Boo.
And Vegeta has to Goku's like, Vegeta, you gotta buy me some time. And he's like, okay, and goes in there and gets beat up the entire time, but it's a pretty he gets up after everything, and it's a moment for me. Like I know it's not like a big win, but Vegeta does this a lot. I think in Tournament Power he just gets beaten down for quite a while, and you're like, boy, that guy could take a beating,
But he's humbled. It humbles him. This moment he's very humbled, and at one point he says something about Goku. He's like, dude, you're a pain in my ass, but I acknowledge your strength. Something along the lines of that. It's it's a really
Bad
nice
boys
moment.
for life,
But he hurls that thing down at Boo, and Boo cannot take it. Goku throws out some good words. He's like, hey, maybe in another life, maybe he'll bring you back, and you'll be a good guy this time.
Yeah, and of course, wink.
Foreshadowing. But he kills Boo. So Boo is consumed by the Spirit Bomb, and he is completely disintegrated, just like Cell. Just all remnants.
All the gloopy gloops gone.
All the gloopy gloops are gone. And everyone rejoices. Everything is wonderful. Goku.
Imagine just coming back to life and someone screaming inside of your head Raise your hands in the sky. We're all gonna die, my son.
Like, what?
What the fuck is going on?
I thought it was just in heaven, maybe, and now I'm not. I'm in my car again.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know what is going on. Yeah, I felt like I was in the DMV line, but like dead, and now I'm here. Yeah, it's so funny. I always think about that. I'm like, what were they? No wonder they were so reluctant to put their hands up there. They're like, can you just give me a minute? I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah. But hey, everyone works together. Everything gets figured out. They defeat Boo. And no one's dead. Goku is alive. Like he doesn't die sacrificing. And everyone's alive. Everything is great.
Happily ever after.
And then this is like a epilogue, which is actually interesting, Kyle, because so I didn't actually realize until I started Super. Super takes place between the Boo fight and this epilogue.
Yeah, it makes sense of that.
The epilogue is actually years later, jumping ahead. So like Goten and Trunks are like teenagers.
Yeah.
Gohan's even older. I think they have another kid, right? Or no? Or do Bulma and Vegeta have another kid?
Bulma and Vegeta have another kid.
Yes. So yeah, everyone's older and like there's another tournament going on. So they get.
But a long time ago, isn't this like Goku used the Dragon Balls right after Boo to what did he do? Can you just reincarnate Boo, but as a good guy or something?
Oh, yeah.
And so all these years, this boy has been growing up in middle of fuck Africa.
Yeah.
Like, just,
some village.
Just trying to, like, live his, like, really sad village life, just trying to, like, make ends meet for his family. And just has no idea why he's so powerful.
Yeah. But it's funny too, because like
imagine the psychology of that kid,
Goku basically is the one. I think he gets Boo to like trick the numbers, so Goku ends up fighting. It's Oob, so it's Boo backwards.
It's Boo backwards, Dan.
Yeah.
Because
Genius.
Writing. Yeah.
Genius.
He's Nega Boob, so it's backwards.
Nega Boob. But yeah, so we got this little village kid named Oob, and Goku's fighting him, and he's like taunting the shit out of him at first. Like he's trying to get him riled up, right?
Mad,
because the kid doesn't understand or know that he has this energy inside of him. He doesn't know what he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, he gets strong really quick, and he starts learning real quick during the fight. And he actually
mind you, Goku would be a god like 2 times over at this point.
Yes.
Like just beating up some village kid.
Yeah, basically. But it's fine. I mean, he's trying to, he's just trying
to get know it at the time. It's
he's just trying to get him to that point where he can be like, "Hey, kid, want to train?" Like, because that's how the whole thing ends. He flies.
Yeah, that's how it ends. Well, and this is where GT picks up, and like Oob's like a main character of that show, which is crazy to me. That
doesn't he fuse with like Fat Boo or something?
I don't. You know what I know about GT? Nothing, because I watched it once and I go, no, I'm not doing that again.
Although I love Super Saiyan 4, dude. I love Super Saiyan 4.
It's too
I don't know. I just, again, I'm about transformations, Kyle, and I love when there's like a visual difference. Like
sure. I get that, and I like how it is a kind of back to the roots. Like he's ape-like, like the original Ozaru form. There is kind of something to appreciate about that.
Well, like that's what I think that's sort of the thing with Super Saiyan 4.
You have to go Golden Ozaru first, and then when you revert, you get your like really weird pink looking form. So
yeah.
Your pink fur form, which is kind of what the Super Saiyan Rose hair is like the same color as the body hair from like Super Saiyan 4. So it's like you borrow it a little bit.
Sure.
I'll take Ultra Instinct all day over 8-man 4 form or whatever. But you got me kind of turned around on the Super Saiyan 4 because I do like the reversion of it, kind of going more primal, back to like a more primal state of being.
I like when there's like kind of like a noticeable, like there's like something unique and distinct about their like visually their form, which is why, and when we do get to Super, I'll tell you, I have some strong feelings with the transformations in Super, Kyle, and they're not positive.
Oh wow, okay.
They're not positive.
Not positive.
I mean, still awesome. I love Super was really fun.
Super Saiyan Blue is pretty cool though.
Lazy, Kyle.
It's not lazy. It's cool because it's blue.
Yeah, like mint gum.
Like cool mint gum. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how Z ends. We have a time jump, and Goku, unbeknownst to all of us, he's I guess, a god or near being a god, and he's gonna go train this reincarnated Boo, and that's how they fly off, and it's like, all right,
he goes off to abandon his family again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just like, and which he does all of Super. So like, this guy all these years has just been like, okay, bye. Like, I'm gonna go train with Whis. You know, like it's crazy to me.
Go tell Papa Piccolo if you need.
I know,
anything.
And I like how they just stopped caring of trying to make sense of that too. They're like, that's just who he is. And even Chi-Chi's like, you know, Goku. It's like he abandoned you guys. Like for you to just run this farm, like which we learn later, like they're running a farm. You know what I mean? There's a lot of manual labor that goes down, like on this, like. But I think they get a big payday from Hercule or someone, right? Like, so it's like,
I mean,
whatever.
All right. So jokes aside, though, I think it's fine because it's like at the end of the day, Goku and Vegeta are constantly saving the world / universe. So it's like.
But Vegeta, like, at least goes back to his son and train him, and like hangs out with his wife, and like he's like, yeah, I love that bitch, you know, like, you know. But like Goku's like, ew, I don't like girls, and Gohan's kind of dumb, you know, and like,
what's kissing?
I'm gonna go train with gods, you know, like I don't know, like they're like, I feel like Vegeta still holds the house down, you know what I mean? Like
this is why Goku's stronger, because he just sets his family aside. There's no family time.
That's true.
Kyle.
The ultimate sacrifice. Yeah. He's like, fuck them. I got a new Super Saiyan form to get that's a different color, so we can save money on animation.
Right. Exactly. But yeah, that is the conclusion of the epic anime series that is Dragon Ball Z, Kyle.
Which was the end of it for quite a while.
Yeah. Do you know when Z ended?
I don't. When did Z end? Blow my mind.
Let me go ahead and look real quick. Dragon Ball. Now, this is probably, I'm assuming, in Japan, because obviously this aired in Japan first.
Sure.
January 31st, 1996.
So I bet it was like 2001.
Unless that's the manga, though. Hold on. When did DBZ?
When did the final episode of DBZ air in USA? How about that?
No, it's saying 96. So
for USA or just is that the Japanese?
Taking over predecessor.
I bet.
It's
really?
saying 96.
I feel like I was in high school almost, like as Dragon Ball Z was wrapping up. Maybe I'm.
Well, so like in the States, obviously.
Oh, so that's still the Japanese. Okay, it's
years
that's off. We're years off. Okay,
yeah. Yeah, because then obviously.
Because I remember being in the 9th grade and still running and watching Dragon Ball Z, and 9th grade was 9/11, and that's how I base my life off of. Is
sure.
9/11 and pre and post 9/11.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I could certainly look real. I mean, I'm just trying to skim through real quick if I could find the U.S. date, but I'm not finding one. But yeah, 96, Kyle, is when Dragon Ball Z ended in Japan. When did Super end? Or when did Super start, I mean? Because then it's like, I'm trying to figure out the timeline here.
I feel like Super ended like 4 years ago at this point.
No, but I'm saying, when did it start? July 5th, 2015. So
not long ago. I mean, it is, but you know,
almost 20 years, Kyle.
Yeah.
Almost 20 years it took for Dragon Ball to come back.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's a hiatus, you know? And again, we're not counting GT because it's not even like Akira Toriyama wasn't even. No one even consulted him. Like it's like.
Well, he has said. I'm pretty sure they said that's no longer canon.
Oh, it's not canon at all. Yeah. I don't know. Like it was never canon ever.
Oh, okay. Was it? Okay.
No, I mean, like I'm sure it was to people, you know, who just. But like Akira Toriyama didn't do it, you know. So it's like.
Sure.
It's. I guess it's part compartmentalization maybe, but like yeah.
Alternate timeline.
Yeah, I just think it's fanfic. It's really high dollar, well-funded fanfic. You know,
exactly
is what it is. Super 17 was cool, I guess. You know.
Yeah. Which I mean, we get some. Yeah, dude, the 17 stuff in Tournament of Power. Holy shit, Kyle.
That guy lasts. It's crazy.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, we'll have to get to it.
Yeah. But the Dragon Ball Super, Kyle, will be for another time.
Can't wait. We've
concluded the DBZ talk. Is there any sort of last things that you want to throw out? Who is your favorite Dragon Ball character, Kyle?
Oh God, isn't that a question? My go-to in all fighting games and my favorite just like underdog is TN all day. Again, that chump shows up and just like I didn't hear like Randy Marsh. I didn't hear no bell. Just like every time in every season he shows up, and I'm just like, how is he still alive? Like, he fought Nappa with one arm for a while. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy. So like he's kind of my favorite underdog. Vegeta's my favorite like main character. And I have the softest spot in my heart for Piccolo because I'm just like he's the only guy who thinks. Like everybody on this show, like just kind of reacts and acts, and like Piccolo's like, "Wait, everybody,
wait, chill out for a second.
We gotta have a plan, you know." Yeah, and I think that goes a long way.
Yeah.
What about you?
It was always Goku for the longest time. I would say it probably still is, but now honestly, Vegeta's pretty much right up there for me.
Yeah.
With including Super, like with the stuff that happens in the Buu saga with Vegeta. And then the stuff in Super combined, it's just like, Vegeta is fantastic. Like,
he's got a great arc.
Super annoying that Toriyama doesn't give him the respect that he deserves.
And we get enough, but I just feel like it always comes with a price. He's like, I gave him a new form. But also he got beat down 3 episodes later. It's like, God damn it.
But also, Kyle, Trunks. I mean,
Trunks is great. Yeah, Trunks is my favorite growing up because like jean jacket, patches, sword. Blonde hair, like fucking
dude,
this
the
rock
stuff,
star,
the shit that he's
Super
been
Saiyan.
through. If you're including Super, also like, like
that guy's been through so much.
Oh my god,
boy, that Android thing was crazy, right? And then some god comes out of the sky and he's like, "Fuck all you people!" Like, it's like,
that looks like Goku. Like,
he's like, what the fuck? Like, that's so psychologically screwed up. Like, he's been through so much, and I love that about. I think that the future Trunks or Black Goku saga and Super like really elevates his character even more. Even though if you think about it, like again, like that guy's only lived a horrible life. He's known, he's an apocalypse baby. Like he's a Mad Max kid, Like So yeah, major points to him. And again, my favorite growing up because if you give any character with a sword, like I'm here for that. That's a really cool way to aesthetically make a character very cool for me. So
favorite energy attack.
The final flash, for sure.
For me, it's a three-way tie.
That's fine.
Special Beam Cannon, Kamehameha, and Final Flash.
The Kamehameha's classic, Special Beam Cannons. The Makin Kosapo, as I called it earlier.
Yes.
Wonderful. It's a wonderful move.
Absolutely.
Also, I just love how it cuts like straight through people. I like the Destructo Disc a lot. I think. I feel like no one ever uses that. Like, because like the idea is that like it cuts through everybody.
Right.
No matter what, And then they're like, we're not going to use that anymore. I'm like, what? It's Solar Flare too. I would be only using that. Like, you would be totally blind the entire time you were fighting me. And
that does get used several times.
It does, yeah. And I would just womp on you. Like, you'd be blind. Like, I can't see anything. I know. That's the point. Like, nonstop. And, like, they use it maybe once a season. And I'm like, why do you not use that more? It's
Goku uses, in Super, Krillin's improved Destructo Disc move.
He does.
On Jiren, which is super cool. So, callback.
It's true. Yeah.
So is the Frieza saga or Cell saga your favorite? Because I know it's one of those two.
It's a different day, different probably choice or whatever. I think for me, my favorite is consistently more Frieza saga, just because the arc in that was so great or whatever.
Yeah.
But I like a lot of the fights more in the Cell saga.
Absolutely.
Usaga's really turned around on me. Like, I never hated it. I was never a hater of the saga, but like every time I watch it, I'm like, this saga gets better and better every time I watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely the longest.
Is that your takeaway? Is that your favorite? Like after this?
Yeah. Again, those reasons that I listed, just like the animation is top notch. I love transformations. I love the fusions. You get 2 different kinds of fusions.
When Goku and Vegeta's voice like talks on top of each other, I love that.
Yeah, I like that effect because it's like they're 2 people as one. So I definitely dig that. So yeah, it's now become my favorite for sure. So Kyle, Dragon Ball Z is awesome.
It's one of my favorite things to exist. I think it's great.
I know over the years lots of animes have come and technically they are written better. Amazing animation, amazing fights out there, absolutely. but I don't know. There's just something about Dragon Ball Z.
There's so much charm in this show. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It just oozes personality, and it's a lot of people's first, and I know that's why it's a lot of people's favorites. It's a big, it's one of my first, you know, and like it's definitely that may have something to do with it, but I very few shows I go back and rewatch multiple times, especially when said shows are like 300 episodes long. So
yeah.
So I think that says a lot that I'm like willing to jump on that journey, you know, from time to time. So you know, can't wait to do it again sometime. I gotta be honest. Yeah.
And you know, with having streaming nowadays, it's so much easier. It's just it was such a chore back in the day. You know,
like some stupid stuff's about to come out for 30-something episodes, you can skip them. You know, like nothing's stopping you.
So appreciate that. It was so fun watching it in this method as opposed to back in the day having to watch it the way we did as kids. So
wait, quick, what's your favorite movie of all the Dragon Ball Z movies?
Well, now that I've watched the Broly movie. Holy shit, Kyle.
That's the best. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Right? Holy shit is right. Yeah.
Oh my god. And dude, the music was Gogeta.
Yeah, very like chanty. Yeah, very super cool. I loved it. I saw that movie in theaters, like with a bunch of 30-year-old neckbeards, and we were all just in there like, wah! Like, it was awesome. It was so great. And I had a single kid in the entire show, in the entire theater.
Yeah,
because no one I kids watch the show. Don't get me wrong, but like this show is for the people who grew up in the '90s. You know, like watching anime. Like we're all in our 30s and 40s now. You know.
But hey, 30s and 40s, having kids, passing that down, and so the
you
kids,
better
you know,
be doing your due diligence. Everybody who's having kids, you got to show them Dragon Ball. You know,
absolutely.
You gotta keep I want to be on my deathbed watching Dragon Ball X34 or whatever. You know, and just enjoying Gotenks' kids. You know, because
unimaginable like transformation. I don't even know what Goku would be at that time.
People are fusing together, then having sex, and then they have fusion babies. You know, like it's crazy. Like just...
dude, that's I don't even. That's crazy. That's too crazy. That's too crazy. All right,
we're gonna keep amplifying this power.
Now we're crossing a line. There's a line there somewhere, and we're crossing it. But Kyle, we've recorded this over separate times, and I really appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Thank you for working around my schedule, and this is super fun, and I can't wait to talk about Super because it's 119 episodes of just like wackiness, like so super wackiness. So it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Kyle, I appreciate you.
Yeah,
I appreciate all of you for listening. If you did listen, like, subscribe, smash the stuff or whatever. I don't know. Just hit the button, please. You know,
just keep on hitting every single one. You know?
All the buttons that everyone says you should hit on the other videos. Just do that here, because that would just be very nice. We would appreciate it.
Be lovely.
Yeah, absolutely. See you later.